Memorial Stadium on the University of Connecticut campus. It's the second annual Shriners Chowder Bowl. The best in Rhode Island high school football taking on the best from the state of Connecticut. Hello, everyone. I'm Don Coyne, along with Terry Lynch, former URI assistant coach. And Terry, when you're talking football, it all starts with the quarterback position, and Connecticut had several players to choose from to be the starter.
And they're going to go with Chris Caroulas today, who does a little bit of both. He can throw and run. He's going to direct the attack early. We'll see the other guys also.
All right, on the Rhode Island side, pretty easy choice. You go with the MVP in the Division I Super Bowl.
Right, Joe Wall knows the system at East Providence. He can handle the wishbone. He's run it for 4 years. He's going to direct them to start. You'll see the other quarterbacks also.
Now, very interesting, some of the featured players in this game pretty much sum up the game. We got big for Connecticut, small for Rhode Island. Talk about Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut has a size advantage. John Bulliard, 6'7", 305 pounds, going to go to South Carolina. Everybody's talking about him. See what he can do today.
Okay, on the other side, Rhode Island, well, they're a much smaller team. They've got to use skill and quickness, and Mike Wilson's got both.
Yeah, you go from 6'7" to 5'7", Mike Wilson. He's got speed. He's got agility. They're going to try to get him on the outside with the option in the wishbone, see if he can make a difference on the outside there.
All right, the guys who know the best about these teams are the head coaches. They've been working with these squads for several weeks now, so just a little while ago, we had a chance to check up and catch up with both coaches.
Well, from what I understand, Rhode Island has, they have a great option attack. I know Sandy's an option guy at East Providence and very successful, so we have to be prepared for the option, as I understand it. And, you know, defensively, I guess there's a linebacker that's signed with Georgia, so I hear they're pretty quick up front. So we've been practicing since Wednesday, so we haven't put in a whole lot of sophisticated offense or defense, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Well, our team right now is very excited about being here. We came down last night. I hope they play well. We've put 2 real good weeks into preparing for this game. But when you prepare for the game, you don't know what kind of offense they're running. You know, they're saying they're running an I, they're running this. So you really got to keep it pretty vanilla ice cream. But we've had a very good week.
So the best in Rhode Island getting ready to take on the best in Connecticut. The stage is set, but we'll be right back with starting lineups and also the opening kickoff, second annual Chowder Classic, sponsored by the Shriners, coming to you from the University of Connecticut campus.
If you have thinning hair.
Stadium, University of Connecticut, the Chowder Bowl Classic, actually the second annual Chowder Bowl. Last year they played the first one in Southington, Connecticut. And the final score in that one, Connecticut victorious over Rhode Island 28-16. That was last year. There are some different rules being an all-star game, Terry. You gotta vary things just a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna shorten the quarters to 13 minutes. No blitzing. It's not enough time to teach all that stuff. If we go to sudden death, we'll start it on the 25-yard line and go from there. And then if you're down by 14 points or more, if you score, you immediately get the ball back.
That's it. So a team trailing in this one will always have a chance to get back into contention right away. On the field, you're looking at Connecticut. They will be in the blue uniforms, CT gold helmets, getting ready to kick the ball away for the University of Connecticut. One of the better kickers around, too, Terry.
Yeah, Adam Richmond. He's going to Nassau next year, and he's got a state record, I think, of 71 consecutive extra points to his credit. So we'll see how deep he can kick it.
And he is kicking it away right now, taking the ball back on the 5-yard line is Gardella for Rhode Island, busting it up the middle. A little bit of separation, nice return, getting it out to the 30.
Yeah, almost broke that one there, just one person away. 99 Sapp made the initial hit.
Get a chance now to set the offenses for you. There is Joe Wall, the MVP for East Providence High School Division I Super Bowl last year, heading off to Trinity College. He will run the offense for the Rhode Island squad. And there's a look at some of his talented core. Mike Wilson, we highlighted early, and Gardella is also a speedster. Brito and Carvalli he played with, and there's that offensive line. Very small, especially at the guard position for the university, or make that for Rhode Island. Immediately the ball down on, as there's a little bit of a miscommunication on the snap there. That's one thing you got to work on. Langlois and Wall haven't worked together in the past for a couple of weeks.
And they've only been together for 2 weeks, and you know, those are things that happen in all-star games like this. You get guys that are going to fumble the snaps, and timing is everything.
Here's Connecticut. Sapp, a very good one. He's a guy to watch up front. Jordan, Barrett, Rother, and Garrett. That's your big guys up front. Good linebacking and secondary core. Murphy, Hermanowski, and Jelks is a guy to look at. He's going to Yale as handoff goes up the middle. 4-yard gain, looks like, for Rhode Island, setting up a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, just a little give to the fullback inside, and he's just trying to rip it up inside. They're going to start off conservative, Don, and see what Connecticut can do. disadvantage being in the 50 defense here. It's not great to play the wishbone, and that's what, you know, Connecticut has to play. That's the league rule.
A second ago, saw Sandy Gorham, the head coach for the Rhode Island squad. He is the head coach at East Providence High School, and as we mentioned before, they were victorious in Division I Super Bowl, having a tremendous undefeated season this past year. Wall dropping back, has a little bit of time, and slightly thrown behind his receiver, Carnival, who was a high school teammate of his.
Yeah, remember the great play they made at the end of the Super Bowl to hook up for the winning touchdown.
And that is one advantage. Wall will stay on the field. He'll be the punter for Rhode Island. Rhode Island once again in the red. Connecticut will be in the blue. So 3 and out for Rhode Island.
You know, one of the things too, Don, that you may see from Rhode Island, and I don't have any indication, anything, but you may see some trickery. They've been at it for 2 weeks, so maybe they can put some things in where Connecticut's only been working for about 4 days. So
back to receive the punt is McCall. Going to let it bounce, and it's just going to fall down and end up being decent, getting down to about the 27-yard line. So Wall knocking Connecticut back a little bit into field position. And the defensive units get ready to take the field here at the University of Connecticut. Defense for Rhode Island out there, and it's a very talented offensive unit and a lot of options for Connecticut.
Yeah, they've got some kids that aren't even starting that are going to be good ones.
There's your quarterback right there, Carvulis, who is going to be rotating. He'll be playing, you know, with several other quarterbacks in there, and he can do a little bit of passing, a little bit of running. There you see Dix, Glee, Garnett, and Moffitt. The split end is also very dangerous. Offensive line, as we said, big advantage right there, especially Bouillard. He's a huge guy, 6'7", 300, heading to the University of South Carolina. Carvulis with the pitch into the backfield. That goes to number 20. James Glee, a running back from East Haven, heading to Hofstra.
He'll fit in that Hofstra mold of that one back that they can really run and scoot, and he's probably got pretty good hands if he's going to Hofstra.
All right, very small defensive unit, especially on the line for Rhode Island. McGurl, Kamara, Kerr, Brown, among the guys up there. In the backfield, a little more experience back there for Rhode Island. They've got some talented kids. White at the linebacker and McLaughlin, both good players. Cochran, Carvalho, St. Jean, and Madden. A lot of talent back there in the secondary, and those secondary players need to come up big for Rhode Island to have a chance. Handoff up the middle, and nice stop, immediate penetration, and they drop the back for no gain at all.
Kevin Brown made that play initially.
And again, Sandy's team very undersized compared to Connecticut, which is a very big size. And there is White. He's going to be the defensive leader, outstanding player. We understand heading to Georgia, and he's one of those guys that'll be in almost every single play. There you see, filling the gap, helping to come up. White among the players in, and a lot of gang tackling you see for Rhode Island.
They run to the football. That's what you've got to do. They expect Connecticut can try to come out and smash them in the mouth a little bit here.
3rd and 7, drop it back. Big pressure by Rhode Island. We've got a flag in the backfield as the ball is just thrown away. And we'll have to see what the penalty flag is.
Kevin Brown getting after it up in there, number 76.
And Brown from Johnston High School, heading to Nickel College. And there you see it's going to go a hold against Connecticut. I would imagine it would be declined by Sandy Gorham, setting up a 4th down and 7 situation. Get the referee's call.
Holding. Offense. Refused. 4th down.
And as we expected, the call was declined. And Bill Riccio is your referee for today. We'll be hearing from Bill throughout the action.
Hope not too much.
Right, exactly. I want to keep it a clean game. Lou Marinelli, head coach for the Connecticut squad. He's from New Canaan.
Very good coach. Got a 730 winning percentage overall.
And dropping back, very dangerous returners back here for Rhode Island. That's one thing. They can put some skilled position players back there that can make things very dangerous. Tough to this angle pick up who the numbers are. But there are a number of options that Sandy has to be able to send guys back there who can bust them. Low line kick over the middle. And it's going to harmlessly roll out of bounds. Appears to be on the 38 as it never reached the deep backs for Rhode Island. Walter Davenport, one of those back there from Tollgate. So, second offensive series, 3 and out. Defense dominating this one early.
Yeah, and that's to be expected, especially you don't have a lot of work, a lot of timing work. So your offense is going to be a little bit behind. Nerves are going to play a factor in the offensive scheme also, and you can let it fly defensively.
Wilson and Gardella. The split backs. Handoff goes to the fullback. ends up picking up about 4 yards on the play.
Julian Ramirez going to Bryan College next year. He'll fit in nice there. He's a big kid just trying to pound it up in there. You'll notice one thing, too, down with the Connecticut secondary. You look at their safeties, and they're about 4 or 5 yards off the ball, playing for the wishbone, obviously. And if Rhode Island can ever open it up and throw the ball a little bit, that'll weaken those guys back there.
Again, this time they fake it to Ramirez, pitch it outside to Wilson. Wilson, if he gets some room, can get free at any time. He is dropped immediately, though. Nice defensive job by Travin McCall.
And he's one of the safeties that I was just talking about. He was up tight to the line of scrimmage, and his responsibility is to fill the alleys when they pitch the football, and he was right there to make his play.
Once again, good size on McCall. That helps too. 6 feet, nearly 190 pounds. And Mike Wilson is very elusive, but obviously he's faced a wishbone twice before because he knows how to defend that one. All right, going to set up now a 3rd down, about 11 yards to go. Single back in the backfield. And Wall's going to get a timeout right here. Again, you'll see these teams having to use some timeouts because you just haven't been able to practice and get plays in together.
No question. And you know, one of the things, too, that you want to try to stay out of is a 3rd and long situation if you're in the wishbone, because that's not conducive to what you do. You need to stay on schedule. You need to get 5 yards, 4 yards on 1st down, 4 yards, 5 yards on 2nd down to stay in the 3rd and short.
What are the passing options out of the wishbone? You try to set up backs on little dump passes?
Yeah, you have to. And what you just saw right there, they broke the bone a little bit and put Mike Wilson up in the slot. And there's only so many things you can do. And if you're committing to the wishbone, you're not really committing to the pass anyway. You're going to try to make it as a run game.
As we mentioned, also facing this defense, very small guards on the offensive line for Sandy Gorman, and there's a method to that madness too, because you need those guards to be quick to be able to get out on the linebacker.
They need to be able to run. Most guards in the wishbone offense can really run, and Sandy's trying to take advantage of his best athletic linemen, putting them at the guard spots and letting them get up on linebackers and in secondary.
And also the linebackers have to play off a little bit so the linebackers can't get up there. Okay, Wall dropping back here, 3rd and 10, looking downfield. Has a receiver, Carnival going up, jump ball. And pass a little bit short. Carnival had a little separation, goes incomplete, and it'll be 4th down and 10. Rhode Island forced to punt it away.
Yeah, usually you think that you've got a little bit of an edge there with Freddie Jelks being only 5'5", but he was going against Carnival, who's 5'7", 5'8", so the mismatch wasn't as big as you would like it to be.
And Jelks, an outstanding player, heading to Yale University.
Obviously a pretty good student, too.
No doubt about that. And Wall, once again, will kick the ball away. Dropping back deep is McCall and Bellamy. That's the 2 deep backs.
Bellamy will be playing his college days right here at UConn.
High skying kick by Wall, and that one's going to bounce down. It gets a great favorable kick for Rhode Island. Wall did his job that time, no doubt about it. Hung one up high. No fair catch, and it's going to be possession to Connecticut. No score so far. We are 8:39 to go in the 1st quarter. The 2nd annual Chowder Classic, sponsored by the Shriners.
Well, let's see if they can block Kevin Brown on this series. They didn't block him at all the 1st series.
And heading out the offensive unit. Again, you'll likely see about quarters or so for the offensive units to go. Maybe 2nd quarter, you'll see some changes. Hand off the fullback up the middle and immediately dropped right there. Players looking like there was a loose ball. Let's see.
They brought a new quarterback in, I think, Don. I think Glass is in there now.
And it's going to remain possession. Yeah, Glass is in there, and he's another talented player. It was a toss-up who you're going to start.
Right, and what they're going to do with Glass, according to their coaches, is they're going to run more option. He's going to run a little bit of what Sandy Gorham is running also here. And he was the MVP in the New Haven County versus Fairfield County All-Star game, so he can really go at it.
Matt Glass from North Haven High School, and Glass unable to get the handoff. Tries to get a little bit of separation. We got a penalty flag down on it as Glass gets into the secondary and busts it far enough for a 1st down, about a 16-yard gain, but we do have a penalty flag on the field, usually in the area where it's a hold.
And that shows you why he was the MVP of that game. He was corralled twice.
And there is a flag on the field. We'll again wait for that call. And Glass. And it's going to be a face mask apparently against Rhode Island. So that Not going to bode well. Glass's run will stick then, and matter of fact,
get some more yardage.
Right, tack it on to the end of the
5 yard
carry.
incidental face mask tacked on for the run. First down.
Personal foul, face mask. That's a killer play. The 15 yards that he ran for, and tack on the 5 yards. Once again, let's take a look at Glass.
Everybody talked about this kid having great feet, tremendous ability, and you can see it right here. A couple good shots on him. He got out of it, and plus 16 on the game, plus another 5 or so tacked on to the end of the run.
First down for Connecticut on the 46-yard line. Handoff as actually Glass ends up keeping that one, going up the middle, and pays a heavy price as he's drilled down to the ground.
They're getting a taste of their own medicine right here with Glass running the option, and all he did was he faked to the fullback and followed him up inside.
You can see good size there, 185 pounds, doesn't mind taking a little bit of a licking.
No, he's going to Trinity College, which is another academically known school over in Connecticut. He'll do well there.
You have an officials timeout now on the field. Glass looks like he needs a little bit of an equipment repair there, and the conditions seem to be perfect here for a midsummer football game here at the University of Connecticut. The field in absolutely marvelous shape, and it's not too warm of a day.
No.
A little bit decent humidity, but it could be a lot worse this time of year.
Could be worse, and we had a little rain coming in here, and we thought we might get a little sloppy game, but it's really perfect conditions.
And we're going to have a meeting of the coaches right now, obviously something to be discussed. See if we can get an inkling of what's going on in the conversation. And my guess would be maybe one set of headsets maybe not working, so are they saying maybe, I guess if one headset's down
that's usually
communications, then both sides can't, use any of the headset communications.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're not very happy on the Rhode Island side at all.
And it's one of the Connecticut principals talking right there. Came over, one of the game organizers with the game being in Connecticut, talking with Sandy Gorham. And again, that wasn't the head coach for the Connecticut side coming over to discuss anything. And his side doesn't seem to be too pleased either.
No, I don't know what's going on. Jeff Bavino, who used to be the coach at Milford Academy, now he's at Notre Dame at Fairfield, he looks perplexed.
Usually you can make up and come up with, hey, hypothesize what it could be about. And
it might be something with the headphones. I don't know, but, usually in a friendly competition as this should be,
right.
Both sides would agree, but it doesn't look like some happy people on either side of the ball.
And the debate and discussion rages on. Again, they played this game last year. And
it's about headphones. I can just motion about headphones.
Okay.
So one of the defensive headphones must be down, and offensive head, so they're probably just going one headset apiece. That's always a problem.
And we are back underway, 2nd and 2 after the delay. Connecticut into Rhode Island territory. Handoff goes up the middle to the fullback. Darwin Dix making that carry from Notre Dame High School in Fairfield. Darwin Dix. And, as he's a little bit of a surprise starter we saw in there, but that's why one of the reasons is he's going to be a lead fullback and, take some of the early handoffs.
Right, especially with a kid like John Weaver on their sideline, who we understand set this Connecticut State School record of 8 touchdowns in their title game. So,
and he broke that of a teammate, too, who young Douglas had 7 TDs in the game. That was the Connecticut State record. There's your first down, just barely. Length of the football, so Connecticut's drive continues. They'll have it 1st and 10 on the Rhode Island 44-yard line.
You mentioned before, Don, it looks like most of the offensive line is new for Connecticut, too, except for Bulliard.
So if you maybe a different type of scheme, you're going to run different type of plays, so you put different type of personnel in there. Handoff goes up the middle to the I-back, and nice pursuit. Brad White leading the defensive pursuit for Rhode Island. Drop back there was James Glee. Once again, Brad White, star at Hendricken, heading off to Georgia, and watch him come up and fill the gap right there very nicely. Found the seam.
Job. Nice job. McLaughlin did a great job of taking the fullback on and really stopping the fullback's feet in the hole, allowing White to come over and make that play.
Started Hendricken High School. Hendricken lost to East Providence in the Rhode Island Division I Super Bowl and made quite a game of it there.
That was a heck of a game.
Handoff, there's the guy we told you about, Weaver, seeing his first appearance. A nice defensive pursuit again by Rhode Island to hold down John Weaver.
Brad White again in on the stop, along with several others.
Weaver, an all-state running back, gained 171 yards versus Bloomfield and scored 8 touchdowns in the Class M championship game. But Brad White said, I don't care about those numbers.
I'm all over them.
Exactly. Heading off to Milford Academy, and after that he could pick another school to go to. You know, we hear he's a Division I possible prospect.
He's built like a Division I guy. He's about 6'1", 220.
Glass on the rollout, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Nice defensive pursuit as Rhode Island's using their speed to their advantage. Luke McLaughlin, one of those in on the tackle, number 24.
Doing a nice job.
Also helping on the pursuit is Fuja. Take another look at it. Contain and then pursue.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do right there. McLaughlin came, made a nice play. Fuja got off his block. That's what you have to do in this kind of offense.
Luke, a defensive stalwart at St. Ray's High School. St. Ray's Division II champion this year in the state of Rhode Island, upsetting South Kingstown in the title game. Ball getting ready to get punted away as Rhode Island came up big defensively when they needed to. Ball taken on about the 14-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain for number 20, Walter Davenport from Tollgate High School. So Rhode Island will come out in the field with their third offensive series. 4:35 left to go. First quarter, no score from the University of Connecticut. It is the second annual Chowder Classic here on Cox 3. The best in Rhode Island high school football in red, taking on the best in Rhode Island, or make that Connecticut high school football. They are in the blue uniforms. Chowder Bowl Classic. I like saying chowder.
It's better.
It's a little bit.
Unfortunately, we don't have any chowder here.
Exactly, you know. All right, single back in the backfield. Wall going to drop back, rolling out, looking downfield, looking for Gardella. Tucks it away, though, and gets a nice gain. And could be enough yardage for the first down for Rhode Island. And we may have had a penalty flag also thrown down there at the end of that play. Tough to see, it's hidden behind the Rhode Island bench. And that's indeed,
personal foul.
Indeed what we have, a personal foul right at the end tacked on. So Rhode Island now is going to get a big march right there, similar to what happened with the big play for Connecticut. Nice quarterback keeper, and at the end of it, a personal foul.
Nice thing about both these quarterbacks that we've seen, Glass and now Wall, is they can get out of trouble. And any coach will tell you that if you can have a guy like that back there.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense, tacked on to the end of the run.
That's a first down, indeed. One more time here, Wall rolling out, and right at the end here is the personal foul.
Gets out of trouble. Coming in late, right there.
Yep, right at the very end of that one. Looked like number 56, Steve Daly, came in out of Conrad High School.
Not a crushing blow, it's just one of those ones that you have to call, and if you don't call it, then the chippiness starts.
So first down in the 42-yard line for Rhode Island. Their first down. First 2 drives with 3 and out. Wall remains at quarterback for the Rhode Island All-Stars. And again, they've split that wishbone up.
They're going to more like a double slot set. Almost like the wing T.
That's Gardella in motion. Handoff goes fullback up the middle. Going to try to get it up just over midfield. Close to another first down for Rhode Island.
It's Ramirez again, Don. I'll tell you, he's a pretty good player.
Very, very competitive, and you say he's got good size. We saw him down in the pregame.
Yeah, I saw him in the pregame. He wowed me a little bit with his size. He's like 6'1", about 220, and right there he shows he's a tough runner.
And you love the way he wraps up the football, too. No one's going to knock it out of him.
Jimmy Maselli's getting a nice one at Bryant College.
Number 99, Sapp, among those in to make the tap. Tackle on the play. Wilson now on the wing. Pitch to Gardella on the outside. He's got some room. Heading it outside, getting it up just to the 45-yard line. And that'll be a first down for Rhode Island on the 2nd and 1 play. The pitch to Gardella, the speedy back from North Kingstown, and he gets outside heading to Central Connecticut.
A little bit of a quick speed option on the outside there with Mike Wilson being the lead blocker.
Good size and good speed for Gardella. So it'll be first down for Rhode Island. They have made their first journey into Connecticut territory. On the 45-yard line they are. Once again, they'll go with the lone back in the backfield, Ramirez. Wilson, Gardella on the wings. That's Wilson this time in motion. Wall going to keep it.
Rhode Island's doing a nice job on this drive, Don. They're mixing it up a little bit, giving you a little bit of fullback, little speed option. Now they went with the true pickup option right there.
I think Sandy saw how well they had defense those first two series, the basic wishbone, so he decided we've got to show them a different look here.
Sure, and that's in their package. And, you know, it's something that the first couple series usually are a feeling out period anyway. So, and Wall does a nice job with running this offense. Obviously, he's been doing it for 3 or 4 years at East Providence. Right. So, you know, that helps. That helps when you have some knowledge of the offense.
And Sandy pretty happy. He said, that's my quarterback.
Great play.
We've been doing that for years. Just keep doing it. Wall with a little quick equipment adjustment out on the field. Clock has stopped. 2:48 left to go first quarter. No score from Storrs, Connecticut. Don Coyne and Terry Lynch bringing you the action here on Cox 3. Good crowd we got here, too. They're still starting to fill in a little bit. Quite a few of the Rhode Island contingent, when the starting lineup was announced, made the journey here to Storrs.
I was very surprised at how many Rhode Island people were here. They outnumbered the Connecticut people, or at least they outvoiced them.
Okay, two backs in the backfield. Ramirez will be there with Gardella, who's in motion. Fake to Gardella. Wall swings it now out, and it goes to Mike Wilson with the catch. And Wilson, first completed pass for the Rhode Island squad, gets it down to about the 26-yard line.
That one right over Gardella's head and into Wilson's hands, and good concentration by Mike Wilson.
Excellent there. You had to look at it and figure maybe it's a broken play to have two receivers in the same exact spot.
And then the other thing with Gardella, why he didn't touch the ball, who knows? Maybe he knew he wasn't supposed to be out there.
And he knew Mike Wilson was there, talented back from South Kingstown High School. And again, look, perfect angle right there. It looked like right at the last second, Gardella knew.
Just pulled away.
This isn't my ball.
I'll tell you, this will be big if Rhode Island can get on the board. It'll give them a lot of confidence getting on the board first.
2nd and 1, Gardella takes the handoff. Looks like he has enough for a first down. Mike Wilson checking back into the game as we saw our first substitution in the backfield. Kevin Carvalho, number 5.
Get a lot of East Providence flavor in this game. That really helps with the knowledge of the offense.
It is a first down on the 25-yard line. Back to the bone. Wall passing out of the wishbone, throwing down here, has his receiver, Carnival, another East Providence guy making the catch, and another first down, Rhode Island. And first and goal.
Connecticut, Don's playing the safeties up, and they're really concerned about the run, so it's man-to-man on the outside. Carnival, nice route out there, pushed it like he was going deep, threw the head like he was going deep, and then came off it and ran the out. And this is what they did all the time at East Providence. So I think we saw that exact play for their touchdown.
That was the winning touchdown in the Division I Super Bowl. So it's going to be first and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Quick count apparently tried to go by Rhode Island there, and
the only one that didn't get it was the center.
Exactly. Everybody else jumped and moved, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Looked like they really tried to do a real quick count. They center Andrew Langlois out of South Kingstown High School. He's heading to Brown University.
One of your brighter members of probably both teams.
All right. As a South Kingstown alumnus myself, making us proud. Brings a tear to my eye.
Yes. His SATs were a little better than yours.
Oh, probably. All right, so now it's going to be first and 14, which would be for a touchdown. Handoff, Ramirez powering his way down to the 5. Nice 9-yard gain to get Rhode Island back in scoring territory. Julian Ramirez, very impressive so far. Him
very
been the stars.
I tell you, and the Rhode Island contingent has really got after it this series. They are bringing it.
And here he's out of Central High School. As you take another look at Ramirez, look at him go down there and power, spin, move. They moved him to fullback very late in the practices because they didn't have an effective fullback. And he's the type of kid you can move around everywhere on the field, the coach said.
They may have found a spot for him.
I think so. I keep him right where he is. Handoff again, Ramirez up the middle. He'll gain about 2 on that one. Going to set up a 3rd down and goal to go from the 3 for Rhode Island.
Now, as we talked about with Rhode Island being able to score here, now if Connecticut can come up big and maybe hold them to a field goal or less, now the momentum swings to the other side.
Win not necessarily a factor here at all right now as we're under a minute to go in the first quarter. 40 seconds and counting for the first quarter will be in the books, and Rhode Island with a chance to take the lead in the Chowder Classic.
I expect a little bit of an option outside here.
Ramirez and Gardella in the backfield. That's Wilson in motion. Handoff goes Ramirez up the middle, right to the goal line and driven back.
All right, what do? It's an all-star game. It's 4th and 1 on the 1-yard line.
Well, the first thing is you let the first quarter clock run down and take some time to think about it. And we'll see exactly what Sandy Gorham will decide to do as we have 7 seconds and counting left to go in the first quarter. It's going to be 4th and goal to go from the 1-yard line for Rhode Island.
Looked like that reaction that we just saw on TV was that they're going to go for it.
Looks like it. They look like they want to go for it, but they're going to have to wait and do it in the second quarter. Now on the other end of the field, Rhode Island threatening to take the lead here. So we'll be back as Wall and company look to get the first touchdown of this game. We'll get ready to start the second quarter of action. Second annual Chowder Bowl Classic. Connecticut, Memorial Stadium. It is 4th down, goal to go from the 1 for Rhode Island. A scoreless first quarter, first play of the second quarter getting ready to take place, and you see the 1 yard that indeed Rhode Island needs to get the first touchdown of this game. They will go for it. Wilson in the backfield, and we've got a mix-up in the backfield and dropped. Rhode Island will not get any points out of it as Ramirez was pushed back, and Connecticut takes over on downs.
Great penetration by John Papacristo right in there, and messed up the mesh with the quarterback and the fullback, and he was in the backfield faster than I think the ball was.
Yeah. Papacristo, very nice play there, number 77. Again, trying to make the handoff with Ramirez, but that play had no chance from the get-go. And maybe they saw the effectiveness of Ramirez and they decided they're going to take the fullback out.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I thought they might go outside on that just because they had been running the fullback in there, and Connecticut guessed right.
Have to see how much of an emotionally crushing setback that is for Rhode Island when they were the dominant unit, as Rhode Island late getting a player out onto the field.
Now they've got to come up big down and hold field position to their advantage.
Glass still the quarterback for Connecticut. Again, they'll run the fullback up the middle. And number 22 with the carry there, Darwin Dix. 1 yard, 2nd and 9 to go. We're just looking at Lou Marinelli, the head coach. 19 years he's been coaching at his school, 17 straight winning seasons. Again, up the middle, Dix, the fullback. And defense doing a nice job, that undermanned, or undersized, I should say, defensive line. They basically tried to take some of their bigger players and put them on the offensive line.
And they're moving around, though. They're doing a nice job of getting off blocks and making plays.
So far, that huge size differential for Connecticut has not been a factor.
No, it hasn't.
You see, good pursuit coming in. McLaughlin again. He's really been a star so far on defense.
Nick St. Jean throwing his body around in there.
DeJuan Dix, undecided on where he's going to go to college. The 3rd straight handoff to Dix. No, instead Glass goes with the keeper. He's got some elusiveness there in the backfield, looking for a key block. Gets one, and looks like he gets enough for a first down. He is a mobile quarterback.
He makes some things happen. He's slippery. And that's a big first down for Connecticut there. Get it out of the hole. Now you can start to get back into your normal offense, so to speak, and do whatever you really want.
And the ability to reverse field right there and go back against the grain.
He's a nice player. I tell you, a lot of people that I talked to really talked highly of him.
You don't want to overstate it, not just like him, but like a Doug Flutie type of quarterback who uses mobility, but he can still hurt you with his arm. Handoff goes up the middle. Be about a 2-yard gain on the play. But so far, the pace of the game playing well, I would imagine, for Rhode Island at this point.
Yeah, and really both sides have played pretty well. considering it's an all-star game and there's a lot of newness and no one knows each other. So it's, you know, in that respect, it's been a pretty well-played game and hasn't been a lot of mistakes.
You know, only 3 penalties in the first quarter, but 2 of those were roughing penalties.
Right.
They were personal fouls and just really one mistimed offensive play so far. Dix, the fullback, as Glass looked like he pulled the ball back.
He did. I think Dix thought he had it too.
He buried that one deep into the belly and then at the last second pulled it out, but they're going to keep an eye on Mr. Glass. Nice defensive pursuit for Fuja from North Providence, heading to Dean College. Talented group of defensive backs out there for Rhode Island. So it'll bring up a 3rd down now and 9 yards to go for Connecticut. Passing situation out of the wishbone. And the handoff is going to go up the middle to number 7. It was Chris Bellamy heading to the University of Connecticut, but far short of a 1st down.
Yeah, and again, you get into the wishbone areas, and it's not conducive to throwing the ball. You got to stay on schedule. So good job by defensively by Rhode Island. Would have liked to have kept them in a hole, but you're still going to end up with pretty good field position.
Back deep for Rhode Island. Going to be number 23, Craig Bellinger, who Sandy Gorham saying was outstanding in camp. He said, I never heard that much of the kid. He went to Exeter, West Greenwich High School, Division IV. He said, this kid is so impressive, only about 5'6", but he's a great football player, and he was the one player that Sandy didn't know much about before the start that really stood out.
That's what this game is all about, which is, you know, what these kids play for.
And a nice job there on both ends. Walter Davenport, nice job of catching it, and the arm tackle, knocking him down immediately. So Rhode Island takes over in Connecticut territory.
Nice job of holding on to the football, too.
One more hit. There's Davenport right there. And that's the key. Hold on to the ball no matter what.
And this is, when you're a punt return guy, this is what you want to do. You need to catch the football, because if it hits the ground, we saw that a couple times, it's going to roll.
Steve Hermanowski making the tackle there out of East Hartford. Steve's got a painted face coming into this one. He'll get a shot of
Reaper.
that. Yeah, he's psyched for this one, no doubt about it. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Rhode Island, 45-yard line of Connecticut. And we have a new backfield in there for Rhode Island. Mike Wilson remains in as he takes the handoff and heads forward. New quarterback running the show, Brian LeVake from Narragansett High School. And Brian getting to call some action. Mike Wilson from rival South Kingstown High School.
Hermanowski, what do you think took him longer? Painting his face or getting dressed?
That's an impressive face paint he has on there. I've got to say, I'd like to look like that on some Halloween. I think I'd win a prize somewhere.
Sure would.
All right, Brian LeVake now the quarterback. Broken bone for Rhode Island. LeVake the pitch on the outside to Gardella. Trying to get to the outside, does get a little separation, gets down to the 30-yard line. Nice job of Mike Wilson, the other running back, getting out and performing some lead blocking duties for Gardella.
Again, they're using their ability to run on the outside. Gardella can run, Wilson can run. LeVake does a nice job of running the option. Ran some of it at Narragansett, not as much as Wall. Was probably a little bit more of a thrower. But, and Gardella, he's never run this stuff at North Kingstown because they throw it all the time.
Oh, exactly, all the time. And you saw there a great job, too, by LeVake holding it to the last second. Bainey has out there, number 29 for Connecticut, and had to wait to decide which way to go. And that's why you got to hold it till the right time to pitch it. We have a official's whistle on the field. Again, not sure what this is. 8:06 left to go in the first half. No score from Memorial Stadium.
Oh, encroachment on the defense. 1st down.
Defense offside. Line it up. High school rules, if you line up in the neutral zone, it's an automatic penalty.
So it'll be 1st and 5. Ideal situation. Talking about staying on schedule. No better schedule than that. First
That's
and
beautiful.
5.
Take that all the time. Good look at Brian LeVake going to Springfield College.
Tom Principe also in the backfield now. Number 14 seeing his first action. He's at the fullback, and the handoff goes to Principe. And he's going to be dropped for about a 3-yard loss right there. So 2nd down and 8 coming up. Principe from Mount Hope heading off to Merrimack.
Playing for Tommy Cato, one of Rhode Island's all-time great ones, who went up to Mass, Chelmsford High School, and then he went over to Merrimack College.
Brian LeBake did a great job in leading Narragansett to the Division IV Super Bowl title this year. And there's Prince of B's numbers. Good size, 200-pounder, playing fullback for Rhode Island. And we're going to have a flag there, yep. Dump pass goes to Wilson. Mike just trying to gain some yardage right there so it doesn't be a decline penalty as two players were moving for Rhode Island. And so Rhode Island will get the penalty march back against them if indeed it is accepted. Take another look at the play. Okay, first of all, we'll get the officials call out here on the field for Sandy Gorham's team. One of the players not dressed down there, number 21, is Neil St. Jean. He's an injured twin brother of Nick St. Jean.
Illegal shift, 2 men in motion at the snap against the offense is refused.
And it is declined indeed, so that'll set up third down. Take a look, you'll see on the right side of the screen.
They brought Mike Wilson in motion, and Gardella thought he was supposed to go in motion, and he stopped, and saw Mike coming, he said, whoa, I gotta stop.
Third down and 9 to go. LeBake, the quarterback. That's Wilson, number 22, on the wing. Very dangerous. They get it into his hands, see if he can make something happen. But no, immediately dropped right there as number 31 comes up with a big hit for Connecticut, Joe Van Gilder.
Nice play. You know, tackling Mike Wilson in the open field isn't the easiest thing to do. Van Gilder did a nice job.
180-pounder. And take one more look at it right here. Mike Wilson, very dangerous out there, but Van Gilder with the pursuit. Before he had a chance to be able to turn, face him where he can use the hips. It's so difficult for him to kind of get a gauge on him.
And they're just trying to get him the ball and make something happen in the flat. Now, if Van Gilder misses that tackle, he's probably got a significant gain. 4th down and 9, no punt for Rhode Island. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 9. Passing situation, LeBake dropping back, looking deep downfield, and just misses Carnival on the slant. So once again, Connecticut will take over on downs. And that's one of the things that you can do out of this offense, because those safeties are so tight. Playing for run, little play action pass, trying to hit Carnival on the post, just a little bit short, but he was open. I bet you they'll come back to that play later on. Yep, obviously was able to get some separation down there, and it's a little bit of timing, new people playing with each other. So, nerves. Yep, a lot of that going on. So it's going to be Connecticut coming out offensively. Let's see if there are any offensive changes for that Connecticut team. Karoulis is back at quarterback. And again, we haven't seen much of Weaver so far in the backfield. Very talented running back. Now we're going into a little spread offense here, Don. Trips left with one back in the backfield. That is Glee, the single back in the backfield. Karoulis looking deep downfield. Overthrows it, pickable ball. And just falls down to the ground. Travis Weber apparently just had that go through his hands right there. One more look right here, and again, it was a misread by, it looked like the receiver came out to get the ball. One more look at it. There's our guy again. Kevin Brown all over the place, putting the hit on the quarterback. Classic example right there of not catching the ball first, trying to run. There's the handoff in the backfield to Glee. Glee's got some separation on the outside, busting it over for first down yardage, 14-yard gain, 1st and 10 for Connecticut. They're spreading you out, Don. They're putting trips to the one side of the field, and then they just run an outside zone, stretch play to the outside. Get to that corner right now, and you picked up a nice gain. There's Glee on the outside. Good job downfield blocking by the receiver, able to break the one tackle. So it'll set up a first down for Connecticut. Trying to get back into Rhode Island territory. Made one foray there so far. Glee, once again, the lone back. Takes the handoff and has some trouble on the exchange. Loose ball in the backfield. Rhode Island with a chance to fall on it. Looks like they come up with it. Let's look. Nope. Indeed, they're going to say that it was recovered by Connecticut. The official quickly pointing second down, saying second down. So it'll be a huge loss, though, for Connecticut on the play.
quickly tabulate that for you. Looks like to be a 19-yard loss. Glee kind of just kicks it out himself.
Yeah, and then they start to kick it around here. I thought Rhode Island had it.
One more look at it.
Closed his pocket.
Yep, never got it in there.
That's a classic example right there of a running back trying to grab the ball. All they should do is make that pocket, let the quarterback put it on their stomach, and then they'll fold it over. But he's trying to reach at it a little bit.
So a long way to go. Second down and approximately 29 yards to go. There's Glee heading off to Hofstra University. Glee the lone back. Lewis dropping back, looking downfield, heaves it over the middle into traffic. And nice job by Brad White there, the linebacker in defensive coverage.
Brad White's playing a pretty good game. He's a little fired up out there. He's flying around, looks like he's keeping the troops going.
Pass intended for Pat Moffitt, the wide receiver out of Norwalk. Going to be heading off to Wesleyan. So third down, ton of yardage to go. Again, Rhode Island just wants to stop the big play right here.
Exactly.
They want to
play
give
for
10.
punt.
Right. Again, it's going to be, looks like three receivers over to the right-hand side. Glee remains your lone back in the backfield. And it's going to be a keeper up the middle by the quarterback, as that's Glass who checked into the game for the one play. And we do have a flag in the backfield. Looks like it'll probably be a hold, but hey, it's a smart play.
He's impressive.
Yeah,
I really like him. He can move around and he can make some things happen. Holding call on Connecticut. I say you take the penalty and push them back, try to get as much yardage as you can.
Yeah, because it's doubtful they'll get the first down anyway.
Right.
As much yardage as they have to go, unless you're worried about a defensive penalty that might automatically give a first down, and it apparently will be declined.
And that's why we're up here.
So Rhode Island wanting possession of the ball back with 4:31 left to go in a scoreless first half. The Chowder Classic, second annual, sponsored by the Shriners. We'll be hearing more from the Shriners and their participation coming up at the half. Ball will be punted away. Back deep, Davenport and Belanger for Rhode Island. Indeed, boomed away, and it's going to be taken by Davenport. No, just let it hit, and it's going to bounce and get a huge roll in favor of Connecticut, knocking Rhode Island back to the 20-yard line, and we've got a late penalty flag down on the field. A little bit of jousting afterwards, and we'll have to see what that call is.
They lit up St. Jean, who was just standing there. I don't know if they called that. They might have.
Brad White apparently in on the little scrimmage going down after the play, too. Officials will confer. Key penalty, too, because if it goes against Rhode Island, they're pinned back way into their territory. And if not, they've got, they've got the ball up around 30, 35-yard line. Head down to Dave Blythe. Let him make the call for us.
Personal fouls against both teams.
The old offsetting penalty, so it stays exactly where it ended up.
The old nobody gets penalized.
Conference going over there for Connecticut. Marinelli talking to his troops. Rhode Island with their...
See if Brian LeVake now can settle down a little bit. He had his first series, got all the nerves out, got all the, not so the bad plays out, but he's got one under his belt now. We'll try to settle him down and get him moving, just like Joe Wall did really on his second series.
And the same offensive line stays in there for Rhode Island. Not much depth right there in this game. So those guys are going to go the whole way, and that's where Connecticut's advantage is going to be. The later this game goes, the longer it goes. Connecticut's size advantage weighs on Rhode Island as the game gets longer.
Plus, they get a little bit more depth in the line positions.
LeVake dropping back, looking downfield under heavy pressure. He'll be almost dropped by Sapp there, who manages to hang on and come up with a shoestring tackle. Defensive end Jason Sapp heading to Notre Dame, number 99 for Connecticut.
Starting to get a little chippy out there now, Don.
Another flag down on the play. Brian LeVake doing his most to make it a 2-yard gain.
Big personal foul on Connecticut. Jason Sapp going to Notre Dame, as you mentioned.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say number 99, too. It's a familiar number with the Sapps, huh?
It sure is. It's Warren Sapp's nephew.
Impressive. Went to Notre Dame High School in Fairfield and say, what the heck, we'll keep the Notre Dame and go to play for the Fighting Irish next year.
You don't have to learn anything new.
And we had a personal foul on the field, this one against Connecticut, as the Rhode Island defense getting a talking to right now, but thanks to the 15-yard penalty, it'll be first down for Rhode Island, 38-yard line. And mishandle of snap between Langlois and LeVake. LeVake falls on it, so it'll be a 2-yard loss. And that's commonplace in these all-star games. You see it at the college level, you see it in the Pro Bowl, you see it everywhere. When a center and a quarterback haven't worked together, it's a very difficult thing to get that timing down.
And it's the most simple thing probably in football, but it's the most complicated. You know, if you don't work together, you know, basically right there, Brian's hands, you could see just at the beginning of that, his hands separated. And his job is to keep the hands together. When he feels ball, he's got to collapse the other hand over it.
2nd and 12. LeVake dropping back, trying to hit Gardella over there, but falls to the turf incomplete, 3rd down. Part of that is also the pressure on LeVake at that time, too. Had to throw off the back foot a little bit.
He wasn't set to throw. Just got to settle down. Things will happen.
And again, just a lot of things you don't want to make a mistake here. You don't want to throw a pickable ball off where it can be returned and end up being the only points of the half. You know.
That's right.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Again, they split out the wishbone right there. Gardella on the field, along with Principe in the backfield. And the ball is nearly picked off right there. A timing pass pattern and just getting a hand on it. Joe Van Gilder.
He's made some plays today. They were just trying to run the wheel route. They were taking the inside receiver, running him on a flatten up, and he just looked like LeVake was pressured just a little bit.
Ron Spasato right there did get just a tad underthrown, or it would have been a nice gain.
Would have been a heck of a defensive play right there by Van Gilder. And if Brian just could have had a little bit more time, he could have floated that thing over his hand.
Just barely coming up a few inches short, so time for Wall to kick the ball away to Connecticut. Dangerous return men back for Connecticut. And a nice defensive job of dropping him immediately as Taylor Brito from Warwick Vets heading to Dean College and heading there with a nice play in his pocket.
That's a big play right there because they had something set up on the outside. If he doesn't make that play, that's probably a 15 or 20-yard return.
Take another look at it. Bellamy back there taking the kick. And again, a great individual effort to not only force him back off the stiff arm, too.
Great play.
Taylor Brito been seeing some special teams action so far in this game.
Warwick's finest.
So Connecticut has the ball on offense. Here is Weaver, the dangerous running back who can bust one at any time. And indeed, he shows some of those skills right here with a huge 14-yard pickup in just his 2nd carry of the game.
You can tell why he's a big-time back right there. He's upper body strength. You see him down on the field. We were down there before the game, and he's a big kid.
6'1", 212 he's listed at. And good speed, too, getting to the outside.
And Kevin Carvalho's just got to wrap that up, but you're not going to arm tackle a big kid like that going around the corner.
And Weaver hasn't seen as much time as we thought. It probably will see as the game goes on, and as that defensive unit for Rhode Island gets more tired, makes him more dangerous. Immediately stopped up the middle, though. Brad White among those leading the defensive charge, along with Luke McLaughlin.
Trying to run ISO up inside, and McLaughlin took the fullback on again and did a nice job of making him stop his feet. Now Brad White can make the play.
And Kevin Brown's really had an outstanding game. The nose tackle from Johnston heading off to Nickel College.
He's all over the place.
He's just filling those gaps up inside and continuing with pursuit. Not only taking up space, but making some tackles there.
Plays hard.
I formation. Weaver taking the pitch. Pursuit from Rhode Island. Weaver gets around that corner. That's when you can see the difference in him when he gets the ball to the outside.
Yeah, you can tell he's a big-time back right there. He cut to the corner pretty good and just accelerated.
Number 1 for Rhode Island, Nick St. Jean. Pretty speedy defender, too, and he was able just to pull right away from him.
Yeah, he just takes that pitch. It's just they're pulling the guard around, and he just gets to that corner in a hurry-up.
And Weaver knocked down ball on the 45-yard line now of Rhode Island. We have 1:50 left to go in the first half, and we have a timeout on the field. So Weaver will get himself a quick respite.
That was the one thing that Sandy was worried about, is getting worn down by the bigness, or the size, I should say, of the Connecticut team. And now they're starting to bring Weaver at him and just starting to pound him.
Cox Communications and the Providence Place Mall invite you to visit its new fully operational state-of-the-art kiosk. See live demonstrations of Cox Digital Television, Cox High-Speed Internet Service, and Cox Digital Telephone now on display at the new Providence Place Mall. Visit and talk to a sales representative today. Brought to you by Cox Communications. Now you're living. In the background there, taking a look at Gamble Pavilion, which is next to the football field here, home of the national champion Connecticut Huskies basketball team from 2 years ago. And, of course, their women's program here also outstanding.
Constant battle between head coach and head men's coach and head women's coach.
Well, they made sure they had a national champion each year. 98 was one, and then it was the men, and 99 it was the women. Sandy Gorham has to be pleased. The effort of his team and stayed right here toe-to-toe with what people figured on paper a superior Connecticut team, and they have a lot more area to be able to draw from too, but they have some huge players and some good skilled players, and so far it's a scoreless tie with 1:50 left to go here in the first half.
Yeah, I think if you said to Sandy, if you pinned him down and said, you know what, it's nothing at the half, are you okay with that? I think he would be ecstatic.
But Connecticut does have the ball in Rhode Island territory and a chance to score. Handoff goes to the fullback up as Nick St. Jean will make the tackle. Nice job there dropping number 40, Young Douglas. Young Douglas at one time had the state record in Connecticut for touchdown 7. However, his teammate on the field today, John Weaver, broke it with 8.
Said, hey, we'll be teammates. You'll have 7, but I'll have 8.
Great name, Young Douglas.
Young Douglas.
What does he do when he gets old?
He'll be forever young.
There you go. Perfect. Young Douglas, 6'1", 200 pounds, plays from really one of the smaller districts here in Connecticut, as he is at Old Saybrook,
yeah.
You know, and he's heading off to Wesley, and not really, you know, a lot of players to draw from down there, but he's had some outstanding efforts in his career.
The good-looking kid, again, looking at him on the field. They've got some real good-looking athletes over there on the Connecticut side, and I'm not taking anything away from the Rhode Island kids. I mean, there's certainly some good Rhode Island-looking kids, but just, as you said, too, they've got more area to draw from.
Several Division I and 1AA players on both sides, especially Connecticut side, though they've got a little more depth in that department. And a number of the players here also you might not hear about in college football for a couple of years, because a lot of them head off to prep school, give them another year to develop, maybe work on the grades a little bit, and then at that point they'll go to another program. And then they may even redshirt at that program for a year. So.
And I don't think there'll be a person out there on the field today that will make a major impact out of college next year. They may see some playing time on some special teams. You know, the only one I could see making a huge impact is Glass, because he can do a lot of different things. And in a Trinity, it's a smaller school, so he could have a chance to play earlier.
Very agile quarterback, but he's out right now as they continue to rotate quarterbacks. Connecticut does. Pitch back to Weaver, and Weaver is dropped as Douglas was the fullback. Imagine that, Douglas, 7 touchdowns in a game, blocking for Weaver, who had 8 touchdowns in a game. Now that's talent.
You got some talent going there when you got a guy that's scored 7 blocking.
Douglas and Weaver. Weaver with the new Connecticut state record, breaking the old one of Douglas. And it's going to be 3rd down as we have time ticking away, 1:10 left to go in the first quarter. 3rd down and 8 yards to go for Connecticut.
Something neither team is really accustomed to, and that's throwing the ball. Although now we come out in a 4-receiver set, as I say that, with, you know, less than a minute, they're going to try to get something on the board. Big play.
Huge blitz on the backside that time. Nice job by number 32 for Rhode Island, who has been all over the place.
Adewale Fuja.
Adewale Fuja from North Providence.
I hope we're saying that right. Nice play. Unblocked on the backside.
And that's a risk that you take when you put out 4 wide like that if you're able to come off.
That's right. You do, and it's something that happens, and you don't have a lot of blocking schemes. So, if you had more time to prepare, you could put something in to block a guy like that. But in 3 or 4 days, you're not going to be able to do that.
We have 15 seconds to go and ticking before the half comes to an end, and Connecticut will sit on the ball as long as they can, probably wait to see if they end up with a delay penalty and then boot it away, maybe one final play. We have 5 seconds to go, as it looks like it's going to be a scoreless half. Yes, a delay penalty with 1 second to go on the clock. So basically, Connecticut can take the snap, take a knee, and the first half will be over.
Dead ball. Delay a game. Here.
Dave Blythe making delay a game call.
Pretty well played first half. Got a little chippy in the beginning of the second quarter. Referee did a good job of settling both teams down. Haven't had a ton of mistakes. Really haven't had any turnovers. We've had some close ones, but very well played half for an all-star game that teams haven't been really preparing a whole lot for.
And a timeout called now by Connecticut. Now, smart play right here with 1 second to go. If you ask me, it's down. Take a shot. Throw a Hail Mary up there. Throw trips on one side, because if there's, even if you can't get it to the end zone, if there's an interference call, then you'd get a first down and maybe get a shot at something. And they have an outstanding kicking game, Connecticut does.
That's right. Which we haven't seen yet.
Right.
Haven't had the opportunity to see yet.
A little bizarre, too. Rhode Island playing this game in Storrs, Connecticut, and Rhode Island is the home team.
Right.
That's because...
Figure that out.
Well, last year, the first annual Chowder Classic was held in Southington, Connecticut, and for logistics reasons, the game ended up back in Connecticut this year, but to be fair to both teams, they can alternate who will be technically the home team. Rhode Island lost the annual one, or the first annual last year, 28-16. And one final play, we expect a Hail Mary to be up there. And coming up the half, Terry, you got a guess for us, right?
Yes, I have the Grand Poobah of the Shriners. We'll talk to him about what they did this week and some of the activities that took place and really what the Shriners are all about throughout the country.
And they're getting involved in this game. This is their first year of participating in this game. We thank them for all their help. And you may have heard of the East-West Shrine Classic, high school, college all-star game, and that's one of the games that they sponsor. They do sponsor high school games like this all over the country.
All over the country.
Shriners
do a great job.
Yep, for hospitals.
They took both, and you'll hear at halftime, they took both teams to a hospital this week, in Children's Hospital, and really kind of set the perspective for both sides of what these kids have.
Right.
And
Connecticut won't go for the Hail Mary. They'll just take a knee, drop it down, end the half, and that is it. We have a scoreless first half from Storrs, Connecticut. Rhode Island, Connecticut, neither putting any points on the board yet. We head off to halftime. As coming up once again, we'll have an interview, more on the Shriners, and we'll have those halftime highlights for you, show you some of the better plays from the first half. And that's it. No score first half in the second annual Chowder Classic. We'll be back to Storrs, Connecticut in just a moment.
If you have thinning hair.
Chowder Bowl Classic number 2, no score at the half. The best in high school football in Connecticut taking on the best in high school football from Rhode Island. And part of our halftime festivities, the Shriner Band performing here in Storrs, Connecticut. The Shriners, one of the key members and key contributors of this game to make sure it becomes an annual event. And we have plenty more on the Shriners. To learn more about that, our own Terry Lynch is down on the field with Dave Blythe from the Shriners. Terry?
Thanks, Don. We're here with Dave Blythe, the potentate for the Sphinx Shriners here in Connecticut. Dave, tell us a little bit about how the week's progress went, what the activities were for the kids, practices, and the general feeling of the kids with the visit to the hospital.
Okay, basically we started out the week by the players reporting in here to the University of Connecticut, where they are housed for the balance of the week. On Tuesday afternoon, we took them up to Springfield Hospital along with the players from Rhode Island, who were at the same time practicing down in Rhode Island. They didn't come up here to the University of Connecticut. And up there, the chief of staff gave the players a chance, a little explanation about what the hospital is about, and showed them a video presentation. Then they were able to go take a tour of the hospital and intermingle themselves with the children. Some of them were able even to speak Spanish to the children that were there in that particular time. And after which, the Board of Governors volunteered to have a cookout for the players from both Rhode Island and so forth. And then, of course, the Rhode Island players went back to Rhode Island, and Connecticut players came back here where they remained for the week. They went home on Friday, and the players from Rhode Island came up to state last night to get a little bit idea of what dorm life was all about. And of course, today we're presenting the game. Of course, I think the fellas from on both sides of the team finally got to realize what the purpose of this whole game was, and the fact that they're playing for a purpose now, and the fact that we do sponsor 22 hospitals across the United States, 3 burns hospitals and 19 orthopedics, and through games like this and other games throughout the country, there's some 80 games across the United States, plus the annual East-West Shrine College All-Star Game out in California, we raise the funds to help support these hospitals. And basically, I would say that if you look at what the expenses are to run our hospitals, they're roughly $540 million a year. So that goes down to about $17 for every second of every minute of every hour of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year to keep those hospitals operating.
So it's kind of important.
So these kind of games are important to us, yes. These is one of our fundraisers. We do have golf tournaments, and we have other types of fundraisers, paper crusades throughout the states where we have, stand out there, hand out literature on what the shrine's all about, and we accept donations. And between that and gifts and wills and endowments that are given to the Shriners, this is how we able to maintain the hospitals at no charge to the families, to the government, to the state, or any insurance company. It's completely 100% free.
Well, Dave, we're very happy to have you here. We're happy to have you as an affiliate here with this game today.
We do appreciate Cox Table being with us and sponsoring this game.
Thanks for coming today. And Don, we're going to go back up to you upstairs.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you to the band performing at halftime, scoreless at the half. We'll be back with some halftime highlights to Storrs, Connecticut in just a moment here on Cox 3. Rest of Rhode Island high school football taking on the best in Connecticut. Don Coyne along with Terry Lynch. And Terry, as you would expect in a scoreless game, defensive highlights definitely dominate the play.
As it should be. There was not a lot happening offensively. Both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit. We got Adewale Fuja coming off the corner, putting a big hit in the backfield on Chris Caroulas.
Nice job there. And once again, you're going to take a look as a little bit of celebrating after the play. And you want to be careful with some of that celebrating.
Sure, that was banned in the NFL, as we know.
And once again, Fuja among those on the defensive play here on the rollout against Glass.
Nice job of fighting off the block. He gets there along with Luke McLaughlin, making a big play and keeping Glass in check.
And defense has dominated so far in the first half. The Shriners band performing here at the half. No score in Storrs, Connecticut. Sure to be some scoring in the second half, because if it ends 0-0, we go to overtime. So we will see some points coming up, and we'll show them to you here on Cox 3 when we return to the Chowder Bowl Classic in just a moment.
If you have thinning hair, you can get this hair loss research update free by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now.
I love my hair, and I can't believe how simple the process is. It's quick, it's easy, it's painless, there's no surgery. And what I love about it is I can do whatever I want every day.
Oriole Stadium, Storrs, Connecticut, Chowder Bowl Classic. No score, Connecticut and Rhode Island at the half. Don Coyne along with Terry Lynch here on Cox 3. And Terry, the stats tell the story. Not much offense so far in this one.
No, 81 yards for Connecticut and 83 for Rhode Island. Connecticut hasn't completed a pass, and the penalty yards 40-20 in favor, I guess, of Rhode Island. I don't know if you want to be in favor there, but it just shows that it was a defensive struggle for the most part in the first half. Obviously, the yardage will indicate that there is no score here, and that's where we're at. Nothing at the first half. And I would think they may want to open it up a little bit more in the second half. Obviously, somebody's going to have to score to win this thing, so it may take a break or a big play to break this one open.
And Rhode Island did show the ability to pass the ball a little bit so far in the half. Let's see if they go more that way. You're looking at the Rhode Island sideline. Rhode Island will kick off here in the second half. Brad White to do the duties, kicking away for the Rhode Island Reds, we'll call them here, dressed in their red uniform, taking on Connecticut in the blue. Scoreless in the first half. Rhode Island had the best scoring opportunity, had a first and goal to go from the 9-yard line, got it down, had a 4th and 1 for a touchdown from the 1, and they came up short. That was the closest either team came to a score in the first half. White with the boot away, and we are underway. Second half, second annual Chowder Bowl Classic. Ball taken down on the 14-yard line, taken up to about the 24 by Darwin Dix for Connecticut.
Interesting to see who starts at quarterback here. The team moved a little bit better with Glass as their quarterback. Looks like he's coming in to be the starter for the second half. Glass can make a lot more things happen, I think, than Karoulis right now in what they're doing. He's real shifty, can stay out of some trouble.
Glass indeed is the quarterback. He was the most impressive offensive performer in the first half. Again, kind of a couple like Doug Flutie-like moves, just showing great elusiveness, able to get away from tackles and heading off to Trinity College. 3,000 yards career rushing, 3-year MVP. Outstanding football player in Connecticut. Glass will hand off to the first back. Dix decides to pull it back and keep it on the keeper, rolling outside for a 9-yard pickup. Very good at play action.
Very good ball handler. Has run this offense in high school, so it makes it a little bit easier for him here. Does a nice job of pulling the ball out of the fullback's stomach here, running the option, reading the defensive end, keeping it here. Look for him down the line. They're converging on the outside with the corner by Rhode Island. Look for him to flip that thing back once in a while, and if he does, they may hit a home run.
Number 51, Curtis Tutt for Rhode Island on the defensive pursuit. 2nd and 1, we have a timeout on the field. Quick timeout called by Rhode Island. Obviously didn't see something out there they liked defensively. Maybe Connecticut with a little something doing a little different look that maybe Rhode Island didn't prepare for.
And they saw in the first half.
And there's a lot of quick coaching that goes on here, too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like, remember what we taught you. It's like, no, here it is. Like,
this is what we're doing right now.
Exactly, yeah.
John Gendron to the right, Jay Montero to the left. John's a former teammate of mine at URI, out of Seekonk High School. Coaching defense, he was a quarterback at Rhode Island. That's why I asked him before the game, what do you know about defense?
Well, you're like a 280-pound mountain man and used to be a quarterback at Rhode Island.
That was a long time ago, though.
Oh. As the timeout continues here, first play into the second half, no score. Rhode Island's defense getting a quick talking to, and again, Connecticut feels they have an advantage in this game as it goes on. Superior size and strength in the offensive and defensive lines, and eventually that wears down your opponent a little bit.
Yeah, and Rhode Island doesn't have the most size, as much size, I should say, as Connecticut. They knew that was going to happen. They knew that they were going to try to get pounded in the first half.
All-State quarterback Glass under center, getting ready, and we have a Rhode Island player apparently jumping offside. We'll make it official, but it could be a penalty and a first down.
It's like Bulliard jumping. It also looked like the nose guard from Rhode Island jumped too, so
First down.
They called it on the Rhode Island.
Yep, called it on Rhode Island. Must have been the first motion they saw, so it'll be first down for Connecticut on the Rhode Island 38-yard line. Penalty on Rhode Island, apparently in number 52, Samson Kamara. Very interesting story. Kamara wasn't originally on the lineup, but he called Sandy Gorham, said, I understand you're shorthanded. I'd like to come play for your team. As the ball is gotten away on the outside Glass with another keeper spinning it outside, picking up 15 yards and more, busting it into Rhode Island territory for a first down for Connecticut. He is slippery, huh?
It's obvious that they've made the decision to go with him a little bit more than Karoulis in the second half here. Just a simple dive option. He's got a lot of green right there. As I said to you, watch the pitch to Bellamy. Late pitch to Bellamy, and if that happens, he's got nothing but green in front.
High school, North Haven. The college will be Trinity. Again, Glass with the keeper to the outside. That's their offense right now, just running the quarterback keeper, faking it inside, taking it to the outside, 6-yard gain.
A lot of good hands to be in the way he's moving the ball up the field.
Do you maybe make a change and put like a spy on him at this point with Glass? Do you have somebody who makes it his sole responsibility, perhaps?
It's hard to on the run like this, especially if you haven't coached it. It's just a matter of making tackles and making some plays here. I don't think you can really do that at this stage. Now, when you come to the sideline and get the team together, maybe you can do something, but on the fly like this, it's a little tough.
2nd down and 3 from Rhode Island 37-yard line. Connecticut marching in their first possession here in the second half. Glass that time does go through with the handoff. So not much gain and not much avail. It'll set up a 3rd down and 3.
Mike Turilli now, number 50, as the inside linebacker.
And again, you still have to play the fullback there. You can't assume that he's going to stick it in and pull it out, because they can bust one right up the middle there.
That's what'll happen, though.
So good job by Rhode Island, almost defensively staying home. Tackle the guy even if you don't think he has the ball. You've got to go for that fullback.
There are 2 new linebackers in there.
Rhode Island probably resting the troops, knowing it's going to be a long game. Handoff up the middle, and it apparently will be short of a first down. Very close, but Bellamy was stopped on approximately the 35-yard line. Should set up about a 4th and 1. And it will be 4th down and 1, and it apparently is going to be not a field goal or punting attempt. It's going to be going for it as Weaver checks into the game, number 2. Talented running back.
Yeah, you're in that gray area. You know, it's a 52-yard field goal from here, but it's not a great punting situation either because you'd have to have a great place kicker or punter to put it down in there.
Dix, the fullback. Handoff goes to Weaver up the middle. He's got first down, yardage, and more. Busted to the outside, getting by Cochran. He's got a first down, and Connecticut is on the move. That's what's dangerous in that play, too. You're playing to stop the 1 yard, and if you can get outside, you can get some big yardage.
Yep. And they got a guy that can get on the corner, both at quarterback and at the running back spot. And that's, you play one and you get burned by the other.
John Weaver, all-state running back, and again, Rhode Island trying to stop the 1 yard, and he busts it outside.
You're taking another timeout here.
Rhode Island knows they want to do everything they can not to fall behind in this game, playing a great first half, and Weaver getting some outside yardage.
And both offenses, as we saw in the first half, are not conducive to being too far behind.
All right, attention Cox customers, get ready for the digital cable experience of the new Discovery Wings channel. On the Discovery Wings channel, you'll explore the wonders of flight and thrill to the feats of skybound explorers. From airplanes and helicopters to rockets and space stations, this channel really flies. The Discovery Wings channel coming in August to Cox Digital Cable Channel 104. To order Cox Digital Cable, call 1-888-898-9751. And the defensive huddle being broken up, as you say, coaching on the fly, and that's why you need to have smart kids too. We see a lot of kids going to, I don't know, as they're drawing up the diagram in the plane right there, defensively, going to good schools academically, because these are the type of kids you need here, kids that can adapt and pick up the football required skills quickly.
And it's a tribute to all the kids that are going to those good schools. I mean, we talk about it all the time. How many of these kids are going to go on and play in the NFL? And how many of them are going to excel in college on the football field? You can always excel in the classroom, and that's what it's all about. That was literally drawing it in the dirt.
Exactly. The chalkboard getting to work out here as Rhode Island's defense in the toughest position they've been in so far in this game. Connecticut, their deepest penetration. 21-yard line of Rhode Island. 1st and 10, Weaver in the backfield. Number 2, he's the guy to keep an eye on. Glass keeps it. This time he escapes 2 tacklers and eventually is dropped. Looked like Rhode Island had perfect defense to drop Glass for a loss, but he's so slippery.
I haven't seen him go down on the first hit today. And the kid's got incredible balance.
A little bit shaken up on that one. The good side for Rhode Island, at least, they defensively diagrammed it well, and they were in the right positions.
They had people where they were supposed to be. Now they just got to make plays.
Glass trying to shake it off. It was a 2-yard gain on the play. Went from a 2-yard loss to a 2-yard gain on sheer athletic ability. Brings his big offensive line up to the line of scrimmage. Handoff goes up the middle. And it continued to spin. Almost like Glass running back there, how he kept the legs moving. And eventually goes down for the first down for number 10, Aaron Stepka.
A little bit of a change of pace. We haven't seen him in the first half, playing at the fullback spot. Going to Taft. Be a PG there.
And Stepka had a great high school career, too, at Farmington. 4,300 yards and 55 touchdowns in his high school career as Stepka checks out of the game. So
that's a lot of touchdowns.
You can see there's some talent on that Connecticut side. Bellamy, Weaver, and Dix, the fullback, in the backfield. Pitch goes outside. This is Bellamy getting around the corner, and he did step out of bounds. But it's not a touchdown. He was short. The officials blow it down on about the 7-yard line. But Bellamy again turning the corner, and the outside running is shown up here in the second half.
They're showing their ability to get on the corner with their speed and their size. He did step out of bounds. Just missed.
Yeah, see it right back there, just right around the 6-yard line. Yep. He stepped out. Good job by the officials.
I'd say those.
And the camera guys too, right over it, huh? Right on.
Right in it. There you go. Nice job down there. Those are 3 nice-looking backs that they have in the backfield.
And they remain back there in the backfield, so it's going to be first goal to go. Here is Weaver on the inside. Weaver breaks one tackle, trying to get to the outside pass. Cochran smothers him up and does a nice job so everybody else can bottle him up.
Great play by Cochran right there.
Cochran from Newport, Rogers High School. One of those making the tackle, along with Pat Madden.
He just does a nice job here of defending him, using the sideline as his ally, knowing his teammates are going to come with him. Nice play. You put yourself on an island out there, that's tough.
Right, nice job by Madden, too, the free safety who was a quarterback most of the time playing in Cranston, but here in the free safety position shows his defensive ability, and that's a big 6-yard loss, setting up second goal to goal from the 12. Glass is the quarterback. Dix piled up right away. He is stopped. Forward progress is denied. Defense for Rhode Island stepping up when it counts. Number 50.
Mike Turilli.
Yeah, Turilli making the play there out of Pilgrim.
That's a big play. That was one of those ones that you could hear up here. Helmet to helmet. Great job. Just fullback dive, unblocked, helmet to helmet. Great play.
And good technique there on the tackling, too, at the same time.
Not going to let him go either.
Another loss on the play of 2 yards. As we say, you still got to go for the fullback, even though, Glass is going to fake it, most of the time. You still
assignment
have to
football, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, those inside linebackers have to play the fullback, and you can't worry about the quarterback so much. As a linebacker, you've got other responsibilities. The quarterback is handled by the outside guys.
Sandy Gorham along with Coach Stringfellow there on the sideline. Members of the East Providence staff. East Providence Townies Division I Super Bowl champions this past year in Rhode Island. A great Super Bowl effort, just barely beating upstart Hendricken team in the finals, as Hendricken nearly pulled off the big upset.
It's also a great honor, too, Don, being a coach of this thing. We talk about the players all the time, but both coaches, obviously, they've run successful programs, and I would love to be a high school coach and be able to come to an all-star game and run a 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a week of practice and see your fruits of your labor at the end of it.
Because really, it's the best talent you'll ever coach for most of these guys in their life. Unless they move on to a different level, it's the most culmination of talent that it gives a coach a chance maybe to use personnel, do things maybe he wouldn't be able to do because his high school didn't have enough talented players.
Cream of the crop. You get to coaching for 2 weeks.
Sandy Gorham and Lou Marinelli is also the coach on the blue side for Connecticut. And these assistant coaches, too, have some impressive resumes.
Yep. And they're all head coaches. Well, I mean, for the Connecticut side, they're all head coaches. This is basically Sandy's staff for the Rhode Island side.
So it's going to be third down, 14 yards to go for a touchdown, and that's what...
Got a new quarterback in here, Don. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
Kid from Gabe Ramos from Notre Dame, which is down in Fairfield.
And Ramos on the keeper rollout, looking downfield over the middle, has a receiver, connects for the touchdown. That's why they brought him in, as Pat Moffitt makes the catch. Connecticut takes the lead in the Chowder Classic.
It's interesting. I'm talking to John Gendron, who I said was my teammate at URI before the game, and he said, Terry, you got to take a look at the kid number 3 for Connecticut throw the ball. He really can wing it. Well, he comes off the bench and throws one pass. It's a touchdown.
Gabe Ramos with the first score of the game, connecting, and we are on the board for the Connecticut side. Connecticut coming up, looking for the point after. Gabe Ramos will be going to Bryant College, so he'll be doing his college studying in Rhode Island. The kick is away, and it is good. 7-0 Connecticut with the lead on Rhode Island. One more look. Ramos with the touchdown connection.
Just going to run a little bit of a naked fake, the outside zone, come around. You got a guy running in the flat and the backside tight end coming across a little bit deeper, finds the hole, sticks it in there, touchdown.
And that is Pat Moffitt from Norwalk heading to Wesleyan, making the touchdown grab. Just found the seam right there. Nice, quick, tight pass. And that is the first completed pass of the game for Connecticut.
That's pass efficiency then, isn't it?
It certainly is. 7:59 to go here in the third quarter. Gabe Ramos, yep, if he was Samoan, we'd call him the throwing Samoan. He looks a little more Irish or something, so, but hey, he's got a perfect efficiency rating. What is that? It's got to be like 1,000 or something.
He's got to be up there now. He's got 1 play and 1 touchdown pass.
14-yard touchdown pass. And the Chowder Bowl Classic, Connecticut takes the lead on their first offensive possession in the second half.
Rhode Island has to come back now down and answer. Put some points on the board, or at least control the line of scrimmage and get something going on their side of the offense.
And again, their offense did move the ball a little bit there in the first half, and this will be their first possession offensively back deep. Wilson and Gardella, the speedsters, back, and Gardella will apparently get it, but we have a flag down on the field and a re-kick coming up.
Adam Richmond kicking off, going to Nassau Community College.
And a talented kicker. He's not your basic average high school kicker.
No, he all-stated 2 times and played for John Anselmo down at Nassau Community College.
And he's a state record holder, in fact, with 71 consecutive point-after attempts successfully made.
Make it 72.
Exactly. We're going to have a re-kick, though, however. Tee it up from the 35-yard line.
Joe Wall warming up on the sidelines down here. Looks like he'll probably come in at quarterback.
Rhode Island had one good offensive drive there in the first half, got it down all the way down to the 1-yard line, stopped on the 1 on 4th and goal. So again, Wilson and Gardella back deep, standing on about the 15-yard line. And it's going to be Mike Wilson, talented running back from South Kingstown High School, taking down the 20. He's got some space on the outside. Nice job. 25-yard pickup, getting it up to the 45-yard line, where Rhode Island will take over. 1st and 10. Wilson getting Rhode Island good field position.
Great field position. Now, again, as we said, they've got to do something offensively to get themselves on the board so this thing doesn't get out of control.
Alrighty, attention current Cox Cable customers. Cox Digital Cable is the exciting video service that gives you over 200 channel choices. More movies, more sports, more news, more of what you want to watch TV for. Just call 1-888-898-9751 for details.
LeVake's at the quarterback spot.
And that's a tough late pitch right there, and the ball is eventually gathered in. Rhode Island lucky they didn't have a turnover there.
Taylor Brito. Nice job of recovering that ball. Kind of got a late pitch, as you said, and just had to smother it.
And again, LeVake under heavy pressure.
Big time pressure, and their gap was closed. They didn't keep good pitch relationship. They're too close, as you can see right there, and just kind of put it up in his face mask. Tough catch. Great job of just getting on the ball, and hey, we'll take another play.
So, loss for Rhode Island of about 10 yards on the play. Going to set up a 2nd and 20. Brian LeVake from Narragansett, the quarterback. Hands off, goes up the middle, a little bit of room. Cracking it back over to the 42-yard line. Ron Spasato from Westbury High School heading off to UMass Boston. Ron, 190-pounder.
Basically a whole new lineup in there, too. Except for the offensive line, but the backs and the quarterbacks and receivers.
3rd down and 13. They're going to have to come up with something, a little slow developing play here, too. They're going to have to make sure you get it off before the time ticks down. 3rd and 13, Rhode Island's first offensive possession here in the second half. Brito, that's Spasato in motion. Brito's on the right wing. LeVake dropping back, pump fake under heavy pressure, could be dropped for a big loss, and indeed he is. Brian Bainey, defensive back from New Canaan, heading to Wake Forest. Got a memory for himself to take down there, dropping Brian LeVake for the big loss. It'll set up third, about half a football field for Rhode Island.
Yeah, just trying to come out and make something happen with the pass, 3rd and 13, and Bainey comes off a block and just smothers Brian LeVake and drops him for a big loss. And now you lost a lot of field position there.
Yeah, back to the 24-yard line right now. Wall is in the game for Rhode Island. He'll be kicking it away. There's Bainey. Nice job of fighting off the block before making the big stick. And we're going to have another timeout on the field. And it's Rhode Island under a punting situation. You hate to see that they waste their 3rd timeout. So Sandy Gorham's team is out of timeouts here. And not too pleased about it either, especially in a punting situation, not to be able to get it off. That's not necessarily something that comes with just having a new team out there either. You should be able to get that one off without much confusion.
Yeah, and that's you're put into a situation, and basically, as we said, these are all new guys, so you should be wanting to get out there any chance you can. Boys are a little fired up in the huddle out there. Don't lose your composure. Just settle down. You're only down 1 touchdown. Punt the ball, play some defense, get the ball back, and try to get something on the board.
Hopefully your defense can come up with a big play.
Right.
So Wall will kick the ball away. That's one there. You almost take the 5 yards just to keep the timeout you might need later in the game. Wall to get the boot on it. Heavy pressure. Short, high kick, though. And a fair catch is signaled for. And taken by number 7, Chris Bellamy. So great field position for Connecticut. Starting out on their own 47-yard line, they'll have a 1st and 10.
Got to play some defense here.
And Gabe, well, you might as well put him back in the game. Huh? He's 1 for 1 with a touchdown pass. The only touchdown pass of the game. I think he deserves a shot to throw another one, huh?
Hey, his efficiency rating is great. And looking at the Rhode Island defense now, the quote-unquote 1st-team defense is back on the field. Brad White's back in there, McLaughlin back in there at linebacker.
3 split out to the right-hand side for Ramos. He likes to throw the ball. Heavy pressure by Rhode Island. Ramos is dropped for a loss. Another outstanding hit by Fuja, who has been the defensive MVP in this game for Rhode Island.
So far, he's been making big plays in the backfield, and if you don't block him, you can make him. That's a big play, though, right there, Don, because the momentum was all with Connecticut.
Fuja coming in. What a loss. He's got some good reactions afterwards, too, huh? He knows how to celebrate. So 2nd down now. And about 22 yards to go for Connecticut. Handoff goes up the middle to Bellamy. He's dropped immediately. Rhode Island 1st-team defense stepping back up.
Brown's in there. Brad White. McLaughlin, the guys that we called in the 1st half when they kind of control the game, they're back in there making plays. All 3 of those guys were in on that play.
So it's going to be 3rd down now and 21 yards to go. 4 minutes left to go, 3rd quarter. Rhode Island trailing Connecticut 7-0. 2nd annual Chowder Bowl Classic here on Cox 3.
Ramos' efficiency rating is going down. Not his fault.
Still 1 for 1 when he can pass the ball. And he's going to go down again eventually. McLaughlin making the tackle that time. So a sensational defensive series for Rhode Island just when they needed it.
Just what we said that they had to do. They had to come up big on defense, and they did. Brown again. Fuja again. Same guys making plays.
4th down and 21 yards coming up.
Fuja pulls him up. Brown almost gets him from the backside, and then McLaughlin makes the final tackle. You're hearing the same names all the time.
And that's big by Brown. Brown really, he didn't make the tackle, but he contained him enough so McLaughlin's pursuit can catch up.
There, right. Now we've got to get something going on offense for the Rhode Island team.
Punting situation. Low snap. Picked up nicely and nearly blocked. Did he get a piece? Yes, it is blocked by Brown. Brown got a piece of it. And the ball will go down on about the 45-yard line where Rhode Island will take over 1st and 10. So Brown's another defensive star so far in this game.
He just gets a piece of this. It was a low snap, kind of threw off the timing of the punter. And then he just came in, took a piece.
Nice little airborne ability there for Kevin Brown, a defensive lineman, nose tackle, and he's getting some air, huh? And now the looks like the first team Rhode Island offense is back on the field right now.
Need a score.
Wall back to run the show. The quarterback, number 11. Got his number 1 backs in there, Wilson and Gardella.
You know who we haven't seen really since the first quarter either is Ramirez.
Yeah, I wonder.
Which is a surprise. He's fully dressed. He's got his helmet snapped. There he goes.
Yeah. And Ramirez will check in the game minute, get the total first-team offensive unit out there right now. Wall said nothing personal, but I like having him out here.
Yeah. Like him to the 220-pounder.
Alrighty, Nesson, it's your ticket to Red Sox baseball with games from Fort Myers to Fenway. Nesson's Bob Kurtz and Jerry Remy call the action with Bob Rogers anchoring the game for the Nesson Studios. To order Nesson, call Cox Communications at 1-888-522-6933 today and get the season's hottest tickets. Check out those Red Sox as they try to get a playoff berth going, and also going to be a little bit of change, we understand, in the Nesson broadcast booth, so check out Bob Rogers as he gets a shot with Jerry Remy behind the play-by-play mic.
Bob Kurtz going to be a hockey guy, I guess.
Yeah, he's going back to his home area of Minnesota to be the play-by-play announcer for the new NHL Minnesota Wild. All right, Wall is the quarterback for Rhode Island. You're taking a look at number 52, Tim Barrett, one of the defensive linemen for Connecticut. Barrett from South Windsor, and he's going to be attending Yale University. First and 10 from the 45. That's Wilson in motion. First back through is Ramirez, and he is immediately dropped. Again, timing just seemed to be slightly off on that one.
Just got to stay on the, under control, on schedule. Now, if you're on the other side, Connecticut, you don't want to give up anything. Just
contain.
Yeah, let's just play the game and just try not to give up any points. You'll give up 3. You don't want to give up 7.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Wilson along with Ramirez in the backfield. Gardella on the wing. Wall dropping back to pass, throws it out to Gardella in the flat, makes a move, gets it over midfield. Nice job of gaining 7 yards. A connection of Wall to Gardella. And that's the key there, that spin move. That's why we were talking about contain. Don't let somebody spin, over execute or over pursue somewhere. Let a guy make a big
And that's the hardest thing to do as an open field tackler, when somebody does spin. Usually you don't like to see that one. As an offensive coach, if you're the receiver coach, you want that guy to just rip his shoulder and get up the sideline because there's too much happening if you come back inside. He made a nice play, though.
3rd and 3 for Rhode Island, just barely into Connecticut territory. Wall going to pass it again, looking downfield. He has Mike Wilson wide open. Wilson with a catch down at the 20. And Rhode Island on 3rd and 3 has tied or pulled within a point. And we have a late penalty flag down.
Celebration. This could hurt right here, Tom, because they could take it on the extra point, which now, I don't know if Rhode Island will kick it. If they do kick it, it's going to make it a longer kick. If they have to go for 2, then it's a big play. So.
Right. Well, just at the end of that call, I was going to say to tie up the game, but then I realized with that penalty flag, like you say now, it may change their strategy a little bit. But Rhode Island gets on the board. Wall to Mike Wilson. Bill Riccio with the call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct celebration after the touchdown against the scoring team. The score is good. We're penalized now.
And it will be unsportsmanlike against Rhode Island for the celebration as Mike Wilson kind of high-stepped it into the end zone. One more look at the pretty play and the penalty at the end.
Yeah, they just run the wheel route. They had that set up before in the first half, and Van Gilder made a big play on this one. Now had a little bit more time to throw it, put it right over into Wilson's hands, and you're not going to catch him in the open field like that, but Mike, just put the ball down in the end zone.
A little bit of a hop. Seen worse celebrations, but if you can't do it, you can't do it. As the flag came in late on that one. So now all of a sudden it's going to be a 35-yard kick for Brad White as he attempts to tie up the Chowder Bowl Classic, and it is good.
It's a long extra point. That was a nice job.
So Wilson's penalty doesn't come back to hurt them as Mike Wilson, Brad White, and company get to celebrate. Rhode Island has tied this game up 7. Wall and Wilson on the connection.
That was a big answer, Don. We said that they had to come back and they had to answer. They did. Now it's a 7-7 ball game, and the clouds aren't as heavy, so maybe we can go into overtime.
And I'll tell you, Sandy Gorham has to be thrilled with the way his team has played so far in this game to come back when they fell behind Connecticut like that, and the first-team offense responding. One more look at the score.
Yeah, it's just that wheel route that they tried to run in the first half with LeVake, and he got pressure. Wall stepped up, threw the ball, put it right in there. And like we said, you're not going to catch Michael Wilson in the open field.
Nope, no chance of that right there as he glides into the end zone.
Joe Wall, the MVP of the Super Bowl. Will he be the MVP today?
Keeps playing like that. He's sure got a shot to be the offensive MVP. There will be an offensive and defensive MVP for each team. Trinity College, the benefit of his services next year.
Yeah, and that's an interesting... who else is going to Trinity College? Glass on the other side, so that'll be interesting. Both kids will battle it out at the quarterback spot. That'll be a nice battle.
It certainly will. If you're the coach at Trinity, that's a nice problem to have. 2 kids like that coming in.
2 kids that can run the offense and are very smart and are good leaders, obviously.
Here's White. Let's not underestimate his contribution either. That extra point from 35 yards to tie this game up. Kickoff taken down in territory. Connecticut trying to bust it up the middle, look for some running room. Dropped eventually down on the 27-yard line. Appeared to be Fred Jelks. Indeed it was. Jelks number 5, a cornerback who's going to be heading to Yale University down in New Haven. Hey, Cox customers, are you hungry for savings? If so, then we've got news for you. The Cox Combo is here. With the Cox Combo, you can save up to $10 on your total Cox bill every month when you subscribe to Cox Digital Cable, Cox at Home, and Cox Digital Telephone. For more information on the Cox Combo, call 1-888-898-9751. Subject to availability of all 3 Cox services in your area of service. Call Cox for details. Back to live action. Glass drops. Rhode Island's going to sniff that one out a little bit.
The boys are playing inspired on defense now. They're getting after it, and that touchdown really put a lot of life back into this Rhode Island team.
Glass again, faking the handoff to Dix.
First thing, the kid doesn't go down with a first hit. It's amazing. He's got some great play. That was Greg Gomez on the first hit. We just got to have him wrap up.
And they're Cumberland guys heading off to the University of Rhode Island, huh?
You're gonna love that.
There's a daily double that Terry Lynch did. Handoff this time. It does go to Dix up the middle. And the gain's about 3 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 coming up.
You know, it's Connecticut has had more success when they've run outside plays, outside zone, a little bit of quick pitch to the outside, pitches off the option, and they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit here.
It's a passing situation, 3rd and 9, so guess what? Ramos, who's completed the only pass for Connecticut, comes into the game. So he'll be a specialty type of guy.
Think pass.
He's your man, 1 for 1.
It's the same set that they scored on, too. Look for that naked end of the quarter.
That's indeed the end of the 3rd quarter. What a football game it's been so far. The best in Connecticut, best in Rhode Island, tied at 7 here on Cox 3. We'll be back for the 4th and final quarter from Storrs, Connecticut in just a moment.
And they brought Ramos in, as we said, to throw the football, and just tried that swing pass. Got to throw it. Those don't usually work real well on 3rd and 12.
So again, punting situation, the dangerous return man back for Rhode Island. kick the ball away. Just starting the fourth quarter, time ticking away. Last punt was blocked. This is a short, high kick. Rhode Island should just get the heck away from it. Does take a favorable bounce for Connecticut. Will end up being down to about the 37-yard line. So it's going to be first down for Rhode Island. They scored on their very last offensive play on a connection from Joe Wall to Mike Wilson.
I would think that Rhode Island would come back with the same offense. I mean, now you're going to start to win it. You know, you're playing to win here.
Right.
I mean,
it'd be a huge win for Rhode Island.
It sure would. There's no question that Connecticut has to be favored coming in every year because they just have more resources to draw from.
You saw number 22, Mike Wilson, a second ago, who scored the one touchdown in the game. Handoff goes up the middle to Principe. Gets a couple-yard gain. It'll be second down for Rhode Island. And again, even if you can get a drive and use some clock, ideally that'd be the best thing too. Keep it out of Connecticut's hands.
Well, here's the other thing too, and we saw Richmond kicking the ball on the other side, but I tell you, Brad White really impressed me on that 35-yard extra point that he kicked. So you know he's got some pretty good range, and we saw that in the Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, he banged like a 40-yarder or 42-yarder in the Super Bowl game.
Plenty of extra boot on that too. He had enough toe to go. Here comes Wall on the rollout, looking for Brito, his former tight end at East Providence High School, and Brito comes up a little bit short. He's put on some bulkage ever since the end of the football season last year.
225 at the Super Bowl. He looks like about 245 now.
He'll be heading, I believe, to the University of Rhode Island, right?
Let's hope he passes the run test.
Get ready. It's coming up in a few weeks, son. So it's going to be
August 8th they start up the University of Rhode Island.
Good luck to Tim Stowers and his new coaching regime down there at Rhode Island. Third down, 8 yards to go. Hand off to Principe, first back up the middle. Keeps those legs moving, but going to end up a couple yards short of a first. Fourth down. Wall will stay on the field. He is the punter.
And the one thing we haven't seen here, Don, knock on wood, we haven't seen anybody with any kind of major injury, and that's what you worry about if you're a college coach and your guys are playing in an all-star game. You just hope that they have a great time, a great experience, but you also hope they come out of it unscathed.
And both sides did have a few injuries too, though. In the
coming at right.
And it's like one of the St. Jean brothers was hurt for Rhode Island, sprained an ankle, and Rhode Island lost about 12 kids, I guess, between injuries and kids that weren't in enough physical condition to keep up. And both sides have lost some kids to attrition, but thankfully in this game everyone's remained healthy. Heavy rush on Wall, gets off a nice kick under the pressure, and we're going to have looks like a roughing the kicker penalty. So Rhode Island might get the ball right back. Joe Wall, I think you can stay right on the field. Let's get the call. And it looks like that will indeed be the call. Preliminary indication from Bill Riccio. One more look at it.
Yeah, this is a definite roughing the kicker. You have to let that quarterback, the kicker, land. And if you touch him, then it's a penalty.
And Bill Riccio is your head official here, and he will make the call for us.
Roughing the kicker on the defense. 15
and that's a 15-yarder. That's a big one there. So all the way down to the 42-yard line. It is right now into Connecticut territory. 10 minutes to go. First and 10 for Rhode Island.
It's a big penalty there, Don, because they were getting the ball back, pretty good field position, and Connecticut might have been able to do something. Now they've got to play tough defense.
Wishbone attack. Wall, the quarterback. Gonna pass out of the wishbone. Wall dropping back for Carnevale on the outside. Delivered it nicely, but good defense there by the kid who's heading to Yale, Fred Jelks. Jelks wrestled Carnevale, made sure he dropped it.
Their timing got a little bit thrown off there. You can see right here that Wall has to step up. He was ready to throw. Carnevale comes out of his break and he's open when he comes out of the break, but he had to wait on it. Joe Wall takes a pretty good hit from Warren Sapp's young nephew.
Yep, that's right.
Jason Sapp.
Jason Sapp, factor out there. We also had a penalty also in the middle of that. The play wouldn't have counted. Ends up we have a holding penalty. As you see, Sapp. So the hold will be accepted, setting up a second down and about, looks to be about 27 yards for Rhode Island. So that long passing situation, they'll break out of the wishbone. Second and 28 for Rhode Island. We'll make it first and 28, actually, because of the holding penalty on the last play. Didn't count as a down. Wall, again under pressure by Sapp and company, and this time goes down. And Sapp really set it up with that outside rush, made Wall step up into the pocket a little earlier than he wanted to.
They're just first and 27, you know you're probably not going to run the ball, and you're just going to lay your ears back and try to pin the quarterback in, and Sapp just got up the field. Missed the sack originally, but then he has plenty of help coming from the inside.
And Principe, I'm sorry, he hasn't seen anybody like that in the Rhode Island high school ranks that he's had to block along the way. Sapp going to Notre Dame, and he's got big-time talent. Perhaps the best player out here on the field. He could turn out to be one of those guys you might read about down the line.
That's right. You'll see him play on Saturdays, and may someday see him play on Sundays. Got a nice frame. He's about 230 pounds now that can fill out.
Second and 33 for Rhode Island. Again, Wall under pressure, throwing it up. And was that a catch? If so, an outstanding effort. Indeed it was. Garth Gardella coming out of the backfield. Huge gain for Rhode Island. Not enough for a first, Garth, but hey, at least you got a shot now at a first down.
You're not the referee.
Right. You're a few yards short, Garth, but hey, after that catch, you're allowed.
That's a heck of a catch. Twisting his body, keeping his foot, 1 foot in bounds, and just makes a great play.
Tremendous adjustment.
Just with the shoelace.
You can't make a better athletic play than that.
I played for Keith Kenyon at North Kingstown, and I know Keith really spoke highly of him all the time. And nice player.
3rd and 18 still to go for Rhode Island, but it gives Rhodey a shot. Ball on the 49-yard line of Connecticut. 9 minutes left to go in the second annual Chowder Classic. Over the middle, had a receiver, Carnival. Just missed it.
There's that post route that we talked about earlier that Brian LeVake threw, just underthrew it. He was open. This one now was overthrown, and he was wide open. Now we just got to find the happy medium. I guarantee they'll come back to that play that's been there both times.
And Wall's starting to take a beating in this one a little bit, too.
Yeah, the linebacker comes late.
Yeah, that's Hermanowski, the guy with the painted face that we hope to get a look at later. He came in like a madman in there, like he has war paint on his face would attest to. So hopefully Wall's got his breath by now because he's got to do the punting duties. Under 9 minutes to go. High kick by Wall. Gets nice height on those kicks, allowing his coverage team to get down there. And we'll roll down right about on the 20. That's what you like to see out of those kickers, too. A lot of times, not the distance, it's the net yardage. Yeah. You make sure your team can get down and cover it. It's a big bonus. So it's going to be first down for Connecticut. 80 yards to go for a score, 8:46 to go, and we will have overtime if this one ends at 7-7. Hey, is your business looking for an alternative for its local phone service? Well, call Cox Business Services today and switch to Cox Business Telephone. Take advantage of our one-rate, one-state calling plan of 3 cents per minute with no call charges and no in-state toll calls. Back to live action right now. And Glee with the run up to about the 25-yard line for a 5-yard gain.
Put Gomes back in at quarterback, too. They've got a nice rotation going at quarterback. There's 8 minutes to go in the game, and I might have Glass back in there trying to get me the win.
And also Weaver has been the most impressive tailback, and we don't see him in the game.
We haven't seen him much. And in respect to everybody else, you want everybody to get as equal playing time as you can.
And then they blitz it up the middle. Just one back in the backfield now. This is Glee. Ramos throws it out here and throws it high and wide. As incompleted ball attempted for Joe Kavanaugh.
To the backside. Let's get a 3 up.
And you see the defense for Rhode Island. Andrew Langlois, number 78 there for Rhode Island. Actually, that's the offense. He's the center. He's heading off to Brown University.
David Dano is the offensive line coach, and David had a nice career at the University of Connecticut here. Former Lincoln High School.
If we're going...
Little stomping ground, and that defensive unit is coming huge here to hold this talented Connecticut team to only 7 points. Kudos to that staff and that unit. So we are at 3rd down, 4 yards to go. And here's Glass in the game. Breaks the first tackle. We've seen that before. Gets outside, gets the first down.
Guess what? I mean,
as you said, you called it. He's the guy who had to be in for that situation.
Yeah, 8 minutes to go in the game, and it's nice to be fair to everybody, but you also want to win this game. And I think he is your best shot at quarterback to win. As I say that, here comes Gomes again. So.
And he broke the tackle of Brad White, which isn't easy.
Right, and as we said before, this kid hasn't gone down with the first hit at all today. So he's elusive and he's strong, and yeah, he got bumped. That happened before too. He must have got bumped again. Gomes back in at quarterback.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little stinger there on the non-throwing arm.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on him.
You only have to worry about him if his legs are hurt.
Right, exactly. And we're going to have everybody moving on the play except for the center, so you really can't do that. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Dead ball, false start. Offense, first down.
Yes, as Bill Riccio said, mass confusion on the offensive line. That's not officially how they call it, but basically that's what occurred.
10 guys moved and 1 didn't. The most important one was the center.
It's the guy who doesn't like it. It's my ball and I'm going home, and you can't play without me.
The center's, sometimes that's the toughest. You got to remember the snap count, and you got to snap it and then step and block somebody. And
sometimes you're even calling blocking assignments too.
Blocking schemes.
Okay, rolling out Ramos. Heavy pressure by Rhode Island. Brown, one of those in on him. Close to a real nice catch out there. And indeed, it looked like it was. Was it a catch or did the ball get loose? I think they're looking for a flag on this far sideline, too. Looking for an interference call.
That was Nick Cavella, number 80, on the catch. Nice catch.
Yeah.
Kevin Carvalho was draped all over him.
Yeah, I think that's what he was calling for, looking for an interference. Let's take another look at it. Nice grab, catch. And not a ton of contact there. Maybe a hand on the back or something.
Good concentration with somebody hanging all over you.
2nd and 8 now for Connecticut. A little bit of confusion for Connecticut as they've got some new players out on the field. Ramos, the quarterback, with a handoff. This is Glee, and he has dropped St. Jean among those in on the tackle.
Pat Madden also in there on the stop.
Pat Madden, number 12.
They had success running this play earlier, just the outside zone stretch play. St. Jean, nice job of fighting off the block on the outside, making the initial hit with Madden cleaning it up. That's the way you have to play that one.
Madden, the quarterback at Cranston East, also leading the Thunderbolts this year, heading off to Springfield College.
You'll find that there'll probably be a lot of quarterbacks playing a lot of different positions.
3rd down, 9 yards to go now for Connecticut. 5:24 left to go in this one. Pitch to the outside to Glee. Got to create his own space out there. Got away from St. Jean, but not the mass that followed. So 4th down, Rhode Island defense doing the job again. Brad White at the bottom of that pile, number 48.
I'll tell you, this has really been a very well played defensive game on both sides. I mean, 7-7 at this point, not a lot of points scored, not a lot of yardage given up.
And basically, too, you have to remember the rules are set up in these all-star games for points to be scored. They're basically designed so you can't come up with intricate defenses. Right. You can't do much trickery.
You can only play a 50 defense, which is basically 5-man line, 2 linebackers. And that's really all you can play. You can't blitz. You can play a couple coverages in the secondary, but that's it. You're right. They want it to be a high-scoring offensive game, and they've really played well on defense today.
And the snap gets away, but there was no pressure on by the Rhode Island rush, and see if he could get the kick away. Brown among those in pursuit, and Rhode Island will take over. Outstanding field position about the 27-yard line, and what a break that was for Rhode Island right there, as I'm sure Connecticut was hoping the number 21, Dan Suozzi, could maybe get the kick off, but Brown again on him.
He's there again. I mean, he's all over the place. You're right, they didn't have a rush going on. The punter could have kicked it. Kind of panicked a little bit. There's Fuja, there's Brown. Guess who else is back there? McLaughlin. All the same guys that we've been talking about the whole day.
And again, you see they're set up for the return. No real rush.
Right. This is huge now. They got the ball on the 27-yard line, and you're really probably within Brad White's field goal range right now. So don't do anything stupid.
Right.
Get the ball in the middle of the field at worst, and let's take a shot with it.
4:21 to go. Rhode Island in the position to pull off what would be considered a major upset
I
here.
would think it would be.
And a real pride builder for Rhode Island high school football. It was an outstanding season of high school football in Rhode Island. Not the great superior athletes, but across the board, some of the best talent level we've seen was this past year in Rhode Island.
Everybody knocks Rhode Island football all the time. I heard it all the time in college coaching, but you know what? Rhode Island kids play with as much heart as anybody else in the country.
Wall dropping back, looking for Wilson on the swing, gets it out to him, and Mikey Wilson's going to be dropped for a 3-yard loss. I think Connecticut knows about Mike Wilson's stats.
Yes.
They had somebody specking him out.
And I'll tell you, they had people open down the field. Brito was running down towards the corner on a corner route. He looked like he was pretty wide open. I would think they may come back to that.
One more look at it. Wall at the helm.
Gardella was on the wheel route, and they just picked the safe one. Get it out to the flat and see if Mike Wilson can do anything.
Ended up being a 3-yard loss, though. Second and looks to be about 13 yards to go. Maybe 14. Primero and Gardella in the backfield. Wall plenty of time. Has Wilson again open.
Mike, you learned something.
Yeah. Do you celebrate after you hand the ball to the official? Wall to Wilson for the second time. Rhode Island has jumped on top of Connecticut, to the delight of the crowd here, as many have made the trek from Rhode Island.
They just ran that wheel route again, the same one that they scored, the same play they scored on earlier. Mike Wilson just turned it up, and Joe Wall, another nice job of putting the ball right where it had to be.
31-yard connection. Wall to Wilson. 13-7 is the lead for Rhode Island. Brad White, point after, could make it a 7-point advantage. And this is a chippy compared to the
yeah, the 35-yarder that he had.
And you have to like Mike Wilson, though. He learned from the last play. Great job by Carnival to attempt to get it down. And just goes wide.
A little bit of a high snap.
But Mike Wilson afterwards, they had no penalty here.
Must have told him on the sideline, give him the ball. And celebrate when you come to the sideline.
One more look, number 22, Mike Wilson, a star in the Rhode Island high school ranks, and he is a star in the All-Star game.
Just running the play action, the wheel route, and he's wide open. Catch it and go. And hand the ball to the ref, and 13-7.
Immediately. And look at Wall. Wall has to be the offensive MVP in this one, no doubt about it. Keep cranking it up, baby, yeah. The guns are blazing. And now Wilson doesn't have the football anymore, so now he can react all he wants.
There you go. And that's all they want. They want you to celebrate with your teammates, and that rule is put in there so you don't bring, more attention to yourself than you do the teammates. So, hey, give the ball to the ref and just go celebrate all you want.
Wall, Wilson, and company. And the Rhode Island team has the lead. Wall imploring the defense out there to hold it. 3:28 left to go in this one, and we haven't seen much of a passing attack for Connecticut. In fact, they have only completed one pass in the game. That was a touchdown pass the entire game, and they need to get some offense in a hurry. Although they do have some timeouts also left.
Yeah, and Rhode Island doesn't have any, not that they want to stop the clock. Joe Wall, is he... he's doing a nice job in Connecticut. He's going to be playing in Connecticut at Trinity College, so maybe he likes this state.
Boot by White. That's a tremendous toe. Don't tell me he's not fired up. Into the end zone. You can't return that from the end zone. What a boot by Brad White there, huh? Didn't want to get in his way out there because he's pretty pumped up right now.
Now you've got to play defense, and now Connecticut, they may have to take a couple of chances on offense, something that they haven't done all day. They've been pretty conservative.
Wilson on the sideline there, imploring the teammates.
Mike will be at a Connecticut prep school. He's going to go to St. Thomas More and get himself squared away academically so he can go on and play in college.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the game, those were the two Rhode Island kids that we previewed in the pregame show, saying Wall, the quarterback, and Wilson, and they've atoned, they've come through.
Make us look like we know what we're talking about.
Hey, better to be lucky than talented.
That's right.
Okay, it's Glass is the quarterback. Hands off first, back up the middle. That's Dix. Nice little gain for him of about 8 yards. But the clock keeps running. Dix tangling with Brown and company as he heads back to the huddle.
Got a little frustrated.
Just about, just over 3 minutes left to go in this one. Connecticut's going to have to move the ball in a hurry if they're going to get in position to tie or win it. Again, they're running out of the wishbone. Double tight end set. Glass holding on to it. You figure that's what he's going to do. And again, he breaks 2 tackles before Brown eventually makes it.
That'll be an interesting quarterback battle at Trinity College if they both play. I mean, they both bring a lot to the table. One, Glass probably a little bit more athletic than Wall. Wall probably a little bit better thrower. That'll be interesting. That'll be a nice combination if they both stay at quarterback.
Glass has been effective, but he's yet to complete a pass so far in this game, although that's not his forte, and he hasn't
they really haven't asked him to, right.
Same, wishbone, double tight end, Dix up the middle, fullback, give him 4 yards, 2:38 and counting to go in the game, ball on the 37-yard line. A lot of way to go for Connecticut, and they have not shown big playability. I'm very surprised that Weaver's not in the game for them, the running back.
I agree with you.
McLaughlin's been one of the stars on defense, Luke McLaughlin. Glass, he's going to keep it again. Can he break? Hey, they finally got Glass. Give a little star on the helmet to number 28 for the Rhode Island squad because he's the first person all day, Eric McGurl, that has tackled Glass on the first contact.
Shot. And that's as big a play as you're going to get right there.
And McGurl played huge in the Division I Super Bowl in Rhode Island for Hendricken. One more look. If they finally get him, this was a highlight to remain.
Just playing off the option right here. Here's your assignment. Tackle him. Something that no one's been able to do all day, as you said, to get him on the first get.
It's going to set up now a 3rd down and 12. Connecticut has called a timeout. 3rd down and 12, 2:05 to go. No doubt that it's 2-play territory for a first down.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense kicking the ball away here. You've got to have a first down, and something that they haven't been accustomed to doing all day is they're probably going to have to throw the ball a little bit on both plays.
And this is the time of game that basically both sides thought would be to Connecticut's advantage down the stretch. But it's Rhode Island that's performed better in the 4th quarter as their speed and quickness has paid off. And really the size, I mean, you got to hand it to that defensive line of Rhode Island.
They've done a great job.
Outweighed at every position, and that they've been in there and haven't worn down a bit.
And Jeff Bavino right there, offensive coordinator for the Connecticut team, saying to his fellas, we've got 2 plays to make 12 yards, and then we can keep playing, and then we'll worry about the clock. But we've got to get a first down here. We've got to put some positive yardage forward, and we've got to go.
And he's a head coach at one of the football factories here in the state of Connecticut. Notre Dame High School.
Notre Dame High School in Fairfield, and as I said, he was at Milford Academy.
3rd and 13. Ramos, the throwing quarterback down, going deep downfield. Opportunity for a pick, and Cochran has the pick. Rob Cochran. It was one up there for anybody to come down with, and Cochran made the pick. This one could be close to being over. Rob Cochran from Rogers High School, undecided where he's going to go to college, but he decided to make a big play for Rhode Island. One more look, Terry.
Big play. And he had one earlier in the day, as you remember, that he tried to run before he caught. And now he just made the play. No big deal. Just get down and...
All right, a little bit of confusion out there for Rhode Island.
Yeah.
We'll go back. We have a delay on Rhode Island. Probably not a huge play at this point, as Rhode Island didn't know whether the first team or second team offense is in there. And Sandy Gorham, you got to hand it to him. He's decided to put the second team offense in there to give him some, playing time.
Infraction against the Reds.
Big play right there. That's put the nail in the coffin, as they say.
Certainly did. Came up with it. Ramos hung one up, and they had to take a chance at that point. Cochran from Rogers High School. Rogers had a little bit of a resurgence this year in Division I, got back to being a competitive team.
He was part of the reason.
LeVake is in at quarterback. Langlois is still the center. Handoff first back up the middle. A little bit of a gainer. Second team offense coming up with a big play for Rhode Island as Matt Miles from Shea picks up a big 7 yards.
It's a nice... They've been running that fullback all day. They had success from the first play of the game when they started with Ramirez. And Miles has just continued the progress all day.
And again, handed to Sandy Gorham. You know, his first team got in the lead, but he puts the second team in there. A key series right now because Connecticut did call a timeout, and they can get the ball back here if they're able to stop Rhode Island. Instead, he's going to put confidence in the second team players, get them some time, and let them share in this what could be a great victory for Rhode Island football.
Which will also build the rivalry between these two teams. Now it's 1-1, and next year, hey, you know, if it's 2-0, if Connecticut wins this thing and goes away winning it pretty handily, who knows? Do they play it next year, or, you know? But now it's 1-1, and you've got a little bit of a rivalry going here.
And Rhode Island, even though they lost the opener last year, we were able to call that here on Cox 3. 28-16 was the final score in that one, and they were competitive right through, you know, third into the early fourth quarter, and that's when what we anticipated might happen today, the superior Connecticut size started to wear down Rhode Island, but didn't happen today. Those kids in the trenches, the 2 weeks of work that they put in, Sandy must have got them in shape in a hurry.
Got them in shape and got them to play as a team, and that's important. I mean, you know, guys play against each other all year, and you may not like him and you may not like him, but when you come together in an all-star game, now you're teammates. All your feelings go out the window that you had negative, and you rally around each other and play hard. And they've played hard every single play today.
Langlois, the center, number 78. LeVake, the quarterback. 6-point lead for Rhode Island, 1:49 to go in this one. Straight quarterback dive up the middle. LeVake spins his way for, looks to be about a 3 to 4 yard gain, going to be very close to a first down that would seal the deal.
Keep the ball in the quarterback's hand, don't make anything negative happen, and run the quarterback sneak out.
Nice job, wrapped up the football. LeVake did, as we'll have a, it's like a measurement as we have a timeout on the field. Indeed, we will have a measurement. If Rhode Island gets the first down here, I do not believe Connecticut
just took a timeout.
Would have enough time left.
That's it. That's their last timeout.
Again, we'd like to thank everyone here at University of Connecticut for being great hosts and offering this field and this facility for the game. And it's a wonderful backdrop and a good group of fans that we had show up at this one, too. And the Shriners for all their work.
Nice event. They've done a nice job.
Greg Wentworth, one of the leaders in the organization there, and we thank him for his efforts in helping Cox 3 be able to bring you this all-star game between the best high school football players in Connecticut and the best in Rhode Island, the Chowder Bowl. It is going to be third down and less than a yard to go. LeVake, straight quarterback keep for the first down. Just don't fumble it. Sapp tried to rip it away, and that's a big guy trying to rip it out of your hands. LeVake will be down, and this one will come to it, and he's bleeding. I had it.
He ended up with the ball.
He did. That's a man on a mission. He's heading off to Notre Dame. Good luck to him in his college endeavors. 1:30 to go. 13-7 is the lead for Rhode Island. And the clock is running. And Connecticut cannot stop it. A couple of knees, and Rhode Island will celebrate a very sweet victory on the sideline.
Just take a minute, Don, too, to say to every one of the players on both teams to good luck wherever they're going to go next year, whether it be to college to play football or to college to study or whatever their endeavors may take them. And where you go, play hard and play strong.
Handoff off the middle. Belanger with the handoff. And it's also nice here, too, I think, for Sandy to do this, because he could just take a knee and it'd be over. Instead, let the kids have some plays. Don't just take the knee and get the victory. Let the kid run the ball.
It's not like they're going to try to run the score up. You know, they're handing the fullback the ball.
Gatorade bucket coming. Gatorade. Good thing it's the summer. It's a little better to have it dumped on you, I would think, in July than like December.
Yeah. Sandy was back there throwing his headphones down. He might have caught a glimpse of it, but
hey, he'll be happy to get soaked.
Yeah, they got to surround him. Mike Wilson giving him a big hug.
There we go. Yep, they got him pinned in. He's a dead duck right there. Yeah. Cold, but oh so good. Brian LeVake takes the handoff, and that is it. The ball game is over.
That's a great win for the Rhode Island kids.
No doubt about it. Pulls off what everyone would assume is a huge upset. 13-7, the final score as it ticks away. Mike Wilson one of the MVPs in this one, too. Touchdown catches from Joe Wall, as the Rhode Island team has reason to celebrate. There's Wall, number 11 in the middle, who would probably go down as the MVP in this one. Rhode Island, Connecticut, and it comes out 13-7 to be your final score. Wall played with a lot of poise in this one, Terry.
Yeah, he sure did. He you know, and he had the knowledge of the system that he ran at East Providence for the last 4 years. He took control, didn't get nervous, did a great job.
See that right there, too, by the way?
Did.
That was Wall and Glass. The two guys hugged each other. Why? They're going to be playing together in a week at Trinity College.
Maybe they'll be roommates in camp, and they'll be learning the offense together. So that's what makes it. You're going to make some friendships that are going to be lasting. You know, the Rhode Island kids and the Connecticut kids together, they'll know each other for a long, long time now.
And Wall going over on the sidelines, and the few guys that are over on the bench giving him some congratulations over there. And there's Weaver. Didn't see much action, number 2. He's a guy you might hear from in the future, John Weaver, heading off to prep school. And whoa, that's a happy kid. Whoa. And that's a good high jumping ability there to be able to get over number 77. He's only 6'5", the guy he just jumped over. All right, there is Mike Wilson and company. Reason to celebrate a victory. 13-7 is the final score. Once again, we'll be back to wrap up Chowder Bowl Classic number 2. We'll be back to Stores in just a moment here on Cox 3.
If you have thinning hair,
Rhode Island pulls off the upset 13-7 over Connecticut. Terry, a big win for Rhode Island High School football.
Huge win. They played well. They played hard. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. Both teams didn't make a lot of mistakes. It's just they made one more play than Connecticut did make.
Sandy Gorham, the Potentate Trophy, winning as the Shriners presented. Joe Wall, the offensive MVP, number 11, the quarterback, as Rhode Island fell behind 7-0 in this one. However, they came back for the 13-7 victory, and to score the last 13 points against Connecticut gives these guys reason to celebrate.
Sure do, and they made plays when they had to. You know, we said that they were going to. It was time to put that first offense, so to speak, back on the field. They did that. They made plays when they had to make them. Wall to Mike Wilson. Hey, Joe Wall did it in the Super Bowl. He did it again today.
All right. Thank you very much, Terry Lynch. We appreciate it. As reason to celebrate Gordon and company and all the guys down on the field did a great job. Sandy Gorham, you look at the winning touchdown. Joe Wall connecting to Mike Wilson, second time in the game. That won the Chowder Bowl Classic for Rhode Island, evening the series at 1-1. We'd like to thank everyone here at Stores Connecticut for their help, and everyone at Cox 3 Communications for bringing you the Chowder Bowl Classic. Final score 13-7. Rhode Island knocks off Connecticut in an upset. Have a good night, everybody.